We're gonna start streaming. I'm gonna wait for get the tweet out while I'm going. Let's wait for that bad boy. Oh wow, it looks like it received it pretty fast, but I still want to get my other tweet out. Look at this thing going. Yeah, it looks like we are good.
We live.
Yeah, we are live. All right, all right, all right, and we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords Podcast and the LordsOfGaming.net, episode number 142. And it's another glorious Sunday. We're back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm very excited about our special guest, and we've got Compulsion Games. PS5 skipping E3, Last of Us 2, and HorizonZeroDawn, possibly the PC. So we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce a lady whom the ILP is extremely fortunate to have crossed paths with, thanks to the due diligence of our very own Lord Addict. Not only is, I guess, one of the most down-to-earth industry figures in the game, but she's also the personification of a true gamer with the passion to match. Introducing the PR and community developer of CompulsionGames, Captain Scarlet herself, and arguably the best cosplay version of Overwatch's Anna you will ever see in the flesh. Live from Montreal and making her debut into the realm of the Lords, my girl, Lady Naila Hadjas of CompulsionGames. How you doing, sis?
Hi, thanks for having me. Oh my God, what an intro.
You are welcome. You are a lord in your realm. It's only right we show you the proper respect here at the round table. How's it doing?
Good, very good. Excited to be here and starting a new year, new beginnings.
New beginnings. So game-wise, I know you're a big gamer. Have you got a chance to play anything recently? Have you been gaming recently, or you just been all busy on work?
No, I game. I always keep time for gaming, always. Lately, I'm trying to finish Death Stranding.
Okay.
Which is fun, but you have to grind a little bit and you have to push it.
Yes. Have you been delivering your packages?
Absolutely.
Have you been connecting the strand? Okay.
Yep. All these people will get their medicine, no problem.
Move that dope.
Move that dope.
There you go. She's moving product across. That's all we gonna say. No, absolute pleasure to have you.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So we're gonna get into the show because I know we got your limited time, so we're gonna get you going. But unfortunately, one of our lords may be down. Unfortunately, Lord Addict, who's responsible for all of this, unfortunately, he may be very sick. He was throwing up. So please, if you see Lord Addict on Twitter, send him our regards. Our horseman is down. But of course, we still have our most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single player selfish experience, and also the Southstradamus, Mr. Offline Profile Illuminati and Lord Patreon of the Iron Bank, my man, Lord Sovereign. How you doing, sir?
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
My evening is still. Good afternoon, everyone. What's going on?
How you doing, sir? What's been going on?
I'm all right. I'm doing okay, man. I'm doing all right. A little tired. A little kind of a crazy week.
Were you up late last night, sir?
I had two screens on. I was watching boxing and UFC, and then boxing sort of fell to the wayside. Unfortunately, I needed to focus on UFC. And man, what can I say? What can I say?
What can we say? Do you want to get right into the particulars, or should we wait as King and I go on?
We can wait. I mean, listen, I'm not a fan, but. I love to see growth in there.
Okay.
And that 30 seconds of actions
was growth.
Was growth.
No doubt. Shout out to Javier Macan. You guys are fire. Love you guys. Oh, Lucas Lordy and Sepic Ghost is in there. Love the Lord Addict. Yeah, hopefully we get him to cameo. Schools Tech Talk in there. Nice. Salute.
Yeah. Lord Upchuck will be back
Lord
soon.
Upchuck. Oh my God. So what have you been playing, sir? Anything you've been playing?
This week, nothing. This week was kind of nuts.
He wasn't playing the game he's supposed to be playing with.
You know what? I never uninstalled it though. It's still there.
So at one point, I was thinking about King at this point. I mean, I should just volunteer to play No Way Out with you.
If you want to play,
because being that he can't finish this with you.
Yeah, man.
Now they're getting on me because I have yet to. I started A Way Out with King. Probably 2 years ago now.
I love this game so much.
Me too. Me too.
Oh, it's so good. I love it. The design is brilliant.
Oh, it is.
You should
It
finish it. It's
absolutely
really short. Yeah.
Yeah,
I said the same thing.
Did you hear
And
that?
He's
Soft.
left me in the. We still in jail right now. We're still in jail.
Come on, guys.
I left them in the lurch. No, it's totally my fault. I deserve all the fraudness that I get for it. 'Cause it's true.
So who's playing who though?
I was playing. Oh man, I don't even remember their names.
Like
my
there's like a
God.
loudmouth and like more quiet.
I had the blonde hair. I'm not the blonde hair. The dark hair guy. Yeah, so that was my guy.
I think they're both okay.
The one with the big nose, the slim dude.
Oh, okay, yeah, the loudmouth. Yeah.
That was my dude. That was my dude.
That fits.
Yeah.
No doubt. So hopefully we get some.
So that's it.
Yeah, that's been it.
I played a little Control this morning, maybe 2 hours of Control.
Oh, it's so good.
Man, the side story stuff in that is kind of. I like the fact that it's just not. It's best quests and stuff like that. It's busy work, but it's all story oriented, right? So it goes back to kind of giving that world a kind of a sense of really existing. That's what I love about Remedy games, right? It's just the characters and the story, and every singular game that they make is a world unto itself.
Yep.
And they make sure that everything that you find in that world ties back into what the story they're trying to tell you.
You're gonna kick yourself in the butt as soon as it hit Game Pass because you and Boom are actually out here buying games. I'm not buying no more games.
Too good a deal. Too good a
Yeah,
deal.
it's over. Financially, I'm done, son.
I agree. Me too.
I'm not kicking myself. I'm
It's
kind of
too
kicking
many.
myself. Yeah, it's too many. It's too many.
It's too many. Yeah.
I'm not kicking myself. I'm kicking myself a little bit for Plague Tale because it's a fantastic game. I'm glad that I bought it. But just to see that it's coming, I'm excited that more people are going to get to play it and more people are going to be willing to put that time in because it's fantastic.
Shout out for the free. Free is me.
Shout out to Game Pass. And of course, we have the Incredible Hulk of this, aka the Excess Gamer. Who's back? The Lord of Combat Sports, King of the Statues, who demands nothing less than that premium experience and is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement. Beloved Lord King, how you doing, sir?
Oh, you know exactly how I'm doing. Mr. Conor McGregor, would you please stand up, baby? Yeah, let me tell you. Okay. First, let's get boxing out the way.
Let's go.
J-Rock versus Jameson Rosario, Banana. My man Banana from the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
When I saw the lead up to the fight, old boy's in the Dominican Republic chilling with his legs up, relaxing. His family was not too far away, but he was in the mountains and he was training with his team. And he comes from absolute poverty. I'm talking about absolute poverty.
Wow.
His poverty was so stricken. His cell phone that he was talking to on his with his daughter, the screen was cracked. And he was sitting there with the finger, you have the tape on your finger, so you don't continue to cut your finger up. Yeah, he's FaceTiming with his daughter. And I felt for him. I felt his story. I felt that J-Rock would lose this fight. Shout out to the new champion, Jameson Banana Rosario.
I love the nickname. Continue. Continue.
He won the championship. The only way you could beat J-Rock is you have to punch when he's punching. You have to catch him in between shots. And he fantastically did that. And just like the Charlo brother did when he caught him with the uppercut and knocked him out, the uppercut is J-Rock's weak spot. He doesn't know how to grab. I mean, he knows how to throw a good punch, but he doesn't know how to hold when he's hurt. And, sir, you have to go back to the drawing board and try not to just keep throwing punches and try to grab when you get hurt. But let's go over to UFC. When my man Conor McGregor has made his triumphant return, Cowboy was served up on a platter. And how you do a pigeon, you pluck those pigeons' wings. My man went in there with a new shoulder move. His shoulder move was
shoulder move. I've never seen someone hurt with a shoulder move.
It was.
Wait, he hit him like 4 times with it.
I think to be for real, like I was surprised. I didn't know what he was doing. There's no way Cowboy could know what was going on.
Exactly.
And, wow, hold on one second. Shout out to Game Before Tay with a $2 super chat. Thank you, brother. Blessed to be in the house of the Lords. # Go Titans. You still got a couple more hours for football. Stay with us. Continue, King. Show the
listen. So while he's dipping, right? he was peppering them up the whole time, and it was vintage Connor. This Connor looks so fresh. I don't know what they preserved this man with, but this man looks so fantastic. And this is what I gotta say: you got to show excellence whenever you're doing your craft. And young man was in his bag. He dipped low, threw that shoulder up, and it knocked Cowboy. Cowboy was like, "What did he just hit me with?" There was no way he could punch me that close. And Cowboy was off his beam. And when you hit him off his beam, his squabble was loose. And when you hit him on the side of his head, the squabble was in.
Like, what is going on there? The Lord's
it's awesome. I'm having so much fun. This is great.
What is this language he's using?
We're speaking in fight talk. Continue.
I'm the king of combat talk. So last night, Conor McGregor took a huge step in solidifying himself as the UFC's ungodly champion. That BMF belt looked like it's in danger. I'm gonna tell you right now, Masvidal, if he catches you with those shots to the body, to the head, and he kicks you, and your deem is off, you're finished, son.
We gotta see. Masvidal's a bigger guy, man. We gotta see. I mean,
Masvidal's a bigger guy, and Masvidal's not good. I don't think Masvidal. He's not standing with Conor. He's gonna try to take him down and yoke him out.
I think though his ego may make him stand though.
Oh man,
because remember, like Masvidal is so anti-wrestler mentality. So shout out to Yahuzel with the 2 hours. So the first time seeing a shoulder shot, amazing. Yeah, it was crazy. I will say this, I just real quickly because I know we got a lot of gaming to talk about. We got to move this along. But no, the thing I will say is shout out to Conor. I was very worried for him, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? The long layoff. He had the big payday with Floyd. He lost it in Khabib. With guys like that, you wonder if they get paid and they get that. I mean, he's set for life for the most part if he didn't splurge it. So you wonder with guys mentally if he's still going to have that dedication. When he did that move, that showed me he's still working on his craft. He's doing things I've never seen before. So salute to him. Sky's the limit as far as he has so many options. He can do the BMF belt for the big payday with Masvidal.
Usman.
He got Usman for the title. He got the rematch, the run. He's in a good spot. So it was good. Floyd. Yeah, I'm hearing Pacquiao, okay?
Pacquiao, that's what I'm hearing.
No, they're looking at Pacquiao, but what's more prevalent on the table is the Floyd.
Yeah.
Floyd will be coming back this year. Anyway, what I was playing this week, shout out to Game Pass. It has validated.
Put the Game Passes in the chat, y'all.
Yeah, let's put Game Passes in the chat.
Game Pass emojis in the chat. There we go.
It has validated my whole opinion on how I feel, my philosophies. But you're gonna get a lot about philosophies today, people. And my philosophies on Game Pass it is the best value on any platform today. Absolutely. I mean, it blows out streaming services like Netflix and stuff like that, and Disney Plus. It's on a level of incredibility. Like, my son gets a chance to play all these games, but Tekken 7 dropped in Game Pass. And my boy that has Game Pass hit me up and he damn me. You want smoke?
Said, he was the second smoke.
I said, who the hell is he talking to?
Does he not know who you talking?
He called me out the door. So I was like, shout out to Green Mason. I was disgusted that he even thought he could just challenge the boss like that. You gonna challenge the boss? You ain't even go through my doges. Like, you gonna knock on my door first? I said, okay. The fact that you're gonna knock on my door, I'm gonna have to beat you back.
So what kind of you do? What kind? You take it back?
Well, the first thing, it just made me take some weirdo dude. So it's so many new different characters in this game. And this is the format for Game Pass. For all those people out there yelling out the developer doesn't get any money. Listen here, person. When I purchased the game, I noticed that I was cut off from a lot of crucial DLC.
Right.
So if I purchase DLC for a game that I don't have the core game, right? I purchased all the DLC. I was like, yeah, that was $50 right there. Boom. So already they got engagement from me. Right. Then they got the $50 from me. Right. Now, don't you think when this game is getting ready to leave Game Pass, if I don't own a core game and I just brought a ton of DLC, I'm going to have to buy this game at the 10% discount Game Pass gives you? So the game is sold to me. I brought all the DLC on a game that was probably like 2 or 3 years old.
Extending the life of the game, bringing a little more engagement to it at that point. I mean, it's a win-win. It's a win-win.
win. So listen, shout out to Game Pass. I'm looking forward to getting Control and every other game that I can get my hands on that I would not otherwise purchase on my own.
No doubt.
So this opens the door for a lot of gamers. This opens the door for a lot of new experiences. And if you're afraid of new experiences and new free games, well, they not free. You're spending $10 a month.
Right.
But if you sign up for that $3 deal, boy, you're having a great run.
Oh yeah, shout out to Game Pass. Definitely one of the best values in gaming. Salute Al Boogie in the chat. What's going on? Oh, shout out to him. We missed Eternal Shaddai with the $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. Shout out to the panel from your compatriot. Always with the best content. Thank you so much. 103 in the chat live. Please hit that like button. Oh wow, shout out to OK Kid Smooth in the $5 super chat. Need to know Compulsion's next project. Will they be at E3 or PAX East? We will get to Naila. We go to there. We're almost there. We're almost done with the intros. Shout out to Titan 2793 with a $1 super chat with the 100 sign on us. Much appreciated. So yeah, King, I'm feeling what you're going through and stuff like that. And of course, we got me, the gaming ninja, the shinobi, LordCognito, spreading that realness in the realm of the ILP, not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. So for me, it has been done. Gears 5 is completed. It is done.
Finally.
It is done. Salute the addict.
Game while I'm sitting in the lurch.
Salute the addict. Salute the Kaibatsu. They got it done. I won't go into it too deep, but definitely like the ride. Solid game. Some brutal choices at the end for those who haven't played. I'm not going to spoil. But wow, they make you make a tough decision. My only question with said decision is, will they do a Mass Effect style situation where the save data of the choice goes into the next game?
They said it's canon.
So if it's canon,
they said which. They haven't said which is.
They haven't
canon,
said which is canon. Yeah. So I want to know if Coalition makes that canon choice already. You know what I'm saying? In the next game, or is it a situation when you boot up Gears, 6? You boot up Gears 6, and it's like, hey, if you did this, then, this is like, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Because the fact that you take your whole library with you, it should not be an issue.
Yeah, well, we'll see what's up, man. So that's it. Obviously, we talked about the fights and all that other stuff, Destiny and all that stuff. So, special announcement. Last thing we'll talk about is, please, Realm, send your thoughts, your prayers, and support to Lord Italian Clowns, man. Him and his wife, Lady Ashley, she was in a horrific car accident.
Oh my God.
Car was completely totaled. She's very fortunate to be with us. I saw the pictures of it. Latest update from Clowns was, unfortunately, she's back in the ER with a T3 spinal fracture and fracture in her right rib. She's still scheduled for neurosurgery. And I just want to give real quick, last year, if you want to help the family, I'm going to put something in there right now. Please, it actually shows some of the graphic image of the accident. It's a blessing she's still with us. I got a chance at Guardian Con to meet them in Orlando, and very cool. Actually, I was the one that showed them their first UFC fight. I think it was we had a Buffalo Wild Wings. They'd never seen UFC. She was awesome. So I met her personally. Clowns, you already know he's friends to the realm. 4 Guys with Quarters podcast. Please send your love, send your prayers. If you can help, I put the GoFundMe link in the chat. The community is definitely coming together. This is a good dude, man. I'm telling you, I speak to him a lot. And all I told him, I said, bro, it's a blessing that she's still with us because the accident was pretty horrific. So had to do that for the realm, for my brother. Heal up, Lady Ashley. So we are going to move on, try to switch the energy a little bit more positive. So now that we've gotten that and what the games everybody's been playing, I want to start with Lady Naila. Her video game system history, her journey into the gaming industry, her journey into actually becoming the PR and community developer at the up-and-coming CompulsionGames, one of the most recent additions to Xbox Game Studios. So, Lady Naila, let's start from the beginning. What were some of the first video game systems you had, and what kind of got you into gaming?
Well, I have 2 older brothers. Mm-hmm. So when I was young, they already had a Nintendo. Okay. So that's how I started, with Mario on the Nintendo. Okay. Yeah, and then I think from the moment I just saw them play and started playing with them, I fell in love right away. So then we got a Super Nintendo, and then, I think having 2 older brothers around really fostered. We were all 3 of us playing games all of our lives, and then every time a new system would come out, we would just jump on it.
Nice.
So like every Nintendo, Super Nintendo, GameCube, PlayStation, all of them.
Okay, all right. So you had some good brothers at the top, kind of dictate showing you what's going on. Okay.
Yeah. Like beating me up at Street Fighter, but then but then today I'm way better than them, so it's
okay. Let's go.
The student has surpassed the teacher.
The student has surpassed the teacher. Okay, this is awesome.
But back in the day, sorry, go ahead.
No, please, continue.
Yes, I was like, but it was fun because you wanna games with like Resident Evil when they would come out, they would play them, and I would be too scared, but at least I would still be behind enjoying them, even though like they would be controlling. I could still experience them.
Nice.
Even though it was too very scary.
This is awesome. So you were really indoctrinated. You were all part of that whole thing. Now, what I was going to say is, obviously, I a lot of Nintendo love. Now, of course, I'm a little biased. I was a Sega kid growing up. So I got to ask, did they ever buy any Sega systems? No Genesis, no Dreamcast? No Sega was not allowed. She said no. Never.
No, but not. I think it's not necessarily because they didn't want to. I think back in the days, parents, let's say they buy you a system, they think, a Nintendo, and they call everything a Nintendo.
Yeah, you're right.
So they don't think, I'm gonna buy them a Sega. For them, it was very foreign. It wasn't even. It was like, that's the thing the kids want.
Yes,
I think that's the only reason. Yeah,
that's a fantastic point, because it's funny from a parent perspective. Back then, they don't know all the consoles, right?
No.
So you said, everything has the Nintendo connotation, because that was probably the most popular. That's a good point. Now, what about as far as systems now? Obviously, you came up under your brothers. You guys all game together. Now, was there ever a point where you purchased like your first system on your own, like separate, or later on, or you guys stayed together? Like, how did that work?
I think the last system they bought was the GameCube, and then the PS2, and then I bought my first PS3 and Xbox 360.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
It was that generation that I started buying. Nice. And then right now they're older and they have kids and stuff, so they don't game, and now I buy them, because I feel like they took such good care of me when I was young and buying me those systems, because they were way older and they had money at the time, and now they're too busy, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm an adult and now I can pay you back with.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Shout out with the who did that for you.
Yeah, she did that. She did that.
Right. That's right.
No. Tremendous. Now, again, you say you bought the system down, and obviously they know what you do, so that's pretty awesome. So let's get into that. Now, as far as like your whole career, as far as getting started in the industry and stuff like that, and then obviously joining Compulsion as the PR and community developer, like, I know you've got a lot of QA experience and stuff like that. So like, how did you get into and break into the industry?
So I moved back to Montreal when I was 18, and I was going to school, and at the same time I needed a side job, and my mom found this ad on the paper for a QA tester, and she's like, you like video games, why don't you do this? I'm like, okay. So I went in, and I when you're 18 and you're like, oh, this is a dream job, testing video games.
Oh boy.
So I did this, and I loved it so much, and all the other testers were around my age. It was really nice that I stopped going to school.
Oh, hey, you love what you
I was like, I'm 18. I can make my own decisions now, and so I like, this is great. I'm getting paid to
play games.
Yeah. So I stopped going to school, and I just continued working in there and working my way up, basically.
Nice. So
I knew the video games industry was where I wanted to be. So I was like, okay, I have a foot in. Now I just need to hustle in.
God, awesome. So you looked at that opportunity. That's awesome, because you took advantage of the opportunity. You start from the ground floor. Now, a lot of people don't realize QA testing is not easy. Like, it's not. Yeah, like, because isn't it a lot of bug involvement? There's a lot to it, right?
Yeah, and you don't necessarily play great games either. Like, I was on Peppa Pig on the DS for 3 months, I mean, it's not always great.
It's not always glamorous, and I'm assuming like,
it's not.
You don't necessarily have the choice. Go ahead, Soft.
Are you actually playing through the game, or did they give you like a specific section and say, hey, run around the section and see if something's broken?
It depends. Peppa Pig was a very small game, so you could go through it very easily.
Okay.
But usually you play through the whole game. If it's a huge game, like at the time we had, for example, I worked on The Force Unleashed. back in the days, like a Star Wars game.
Yes.
That is a bit of a bigger game. So we would have like sections. We each had a level that we had to play over and over and break. But you have to play the whole. You do several. Anyway, you're like months on the same game, and it can drive you nuts. So like the first few times you finish it as any player would, if you can, if it's not broken, and then you grind and touch and try to all the buttons in every aspect of the level, and it's not that glamour. It's really actually it's not at all, but it's fun. It's you have to go through the mud before.
So now you work your way through. You're doing QA. Like, what's the next step? Like, what's the next big goal for you that you hit career wise?
Yeah. So then and then you started as a tester, and then I became like a manager at the same company, and then I left for a little while. I wanted to try something else, so I worked other odd jobs, and then I was like, you know what, I really miss being back in video games. So then I went back into it, and I went to THQ Montreal. They opened an office back in the days. Yeah.
Salute THQ. I remember them. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and worked on UFC a little bit, so that was interesting because I know nothing about UFC. So, but it was still
you learned today.
You
learned a little bit today. Just kidding. Continue.
And then so I was also a QA manager there, and then they closed. But then they reopened THQ Nordic, and then I worked for a not small, but like a mobile game company in Montreal called Ludia.
Okay.
That was fun. It was okay, but it's like mobile games, which isn't necessarily what I wanted to do. And then Montreal, because there's so many game studios in Montreal.
Right.
There's a lot of events for developers, so you see the same people. It's a very small community.
Gotcha.
So I was at one of those events, and you meet people, you network and everything, and that's where I met the founder of CompulsionGames. We were outside.
Now, is that Guillaume? That's Guillaume.
Guillaume Provost.
Yes, the legendary Guillaume. Okay.
Yeah, he's awesome. And we were outside having a smoke, and he was at the time Patrick Desilets, which is the creative director of Assassin's Creed, and I had worked with him at THQ. Again, Montreal is very small.
Wow.
So then he's like, "Oh, hey, this is my friend Guillaume. He made Contrast," and I loved Contrast. I thought it was.
We're gonna talk about it. Yep.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful.
I had that for my PS4. That was one of the launch titles. I remember it very well. Yes.
Yeah. So then he's like, "This is my friend Guillaume," and I said, "Oh my!" And I, like a fangirl. And then, oh my God, yeah.
Salute the Naila fangirling. Let's go.
Like, oh my God, nice to meet you. Blah blah blah. I love Contrast.
Nice.
And then Guillaume had heard that I wanted to switch from QA to community. Because we all have, again, small community, friends in common, all this. So they sent me an email and it said, "Hey, we hear you're looking to make the switch from QA to community. We're a small studio. There was not that many people. And, we know you don't necessarily have a lot of experience in it, but we are small, so we can take a chance on each other, And I'm like, absolutely, no problem.
Awesome.
I was so happy to just switch. I just wanted to be with people who were creating games that were like touching and beautiful and out of the norm, So I was like, absolutely. And then I joined them, and I went from a company, Ludia, we were like 500 people, and to a company of like 10 people in a very small room.
Wow. Very humble beginnings during that age. Wow. That's a transition, but it just shows to show you, like you said, like, you being diligent, you staying around in the industry and wanting to kind of still expand your role and your skill set. And to this opportunity provide itself with one of your favorite games, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So the question I had now is, now that you've been there, like, what's it like to be like the face of the company? Like, you're basically the person, the go-to person. You handle everything, the convention, stuff like that. Like, how does that transition in this role feel?
Wow. You mean how it started?
Well, yeah, you can say that. Yeah, you can say how you started. Just like, how does it feel to be like you're the face of the company in a way, right?
I mean, I don't find. I mean, I feel like I answer a lot of people, but they don't necessarily know me. They just it's the automatic,
Oh yeah.
The automatic response I get.
The auto reply.
I don't know if they know who I am. So I mean, thank you. That's pretty nice. Yeah, it's nice. It's I think I like talking to people. I'm a very social person, and I think I'm a gamer first before being an employee second. So when people come to me with problems, I think as if I would reach out to a company. How I would want to be treated,
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I just, it's great. It's fun, and it's, I don't know. I just love video games.
Listen, you got the passion, and it shows with what you do. And I think it's key for your role, especially community developer and stuff like that, interacting with your base and stuff like that. Because obviously there's two sides to it. You see the negative side, and and why isn't this, and complain, and so you've got to deal with both sides of it. But that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
But it's cool. I've learned a lot because at some point we had a big backlash basically, and we had a lot of people yelling at us, and what you learn from this is that people really don't necessarily, some people bitch because they really want to bitch, but some others are just, it's how they express themselves, and they don't necessarily have the words for it, and they reach out in anger. And I think with this, I learned that when you answer them in a nice, positive way, you say, hey, I understand what you're frustrated about, and I'm here to help you. Don't worry about it. We can figure it out together. They get really taken back. They're like, oh my God, you actually care. I'm like, of course I care. It's and then they change the tone right away. They start angry, and then they become really nice. But it's because they just, I don't know, a little empathy for everyone goes a long way.
No, yes, very, very valid. I love what you said. Very important. Community developers, take note. Naila's dropping knowledge right now. So let's get to the main event. And the reason why we're here, obviously, it's Compulsion Games, right? And as a studio, and I remember, like you said, Contrast initially when it came out, it was just very unique title with the puzzle elements, the shadows, stuff like that for PS4. And then obviously then you guys transitioned to We Happy Few. It had that major debut, on the E3 2016 stage. I remember, it went in the Xbox preview. Recently, all the DLC now is out. I believe, what is it? We All Fall Down was the last one, right? And that was released a few months back. So I just want to talk about Compulsion as a studio. Like, what's the atmosphere at Compulsion? And then, like, what do you think makes you guys unique from the other Xbox game studios?
Oh, interesting. The atmosphere is, we very much kept our indie attitude. So it's very... if you come into the office, it's a little bit messy, It's sometimes we have people from Microsoft visiting, and they say, "Okay, let's start with a tour of the studio." We're like, "Oh, well, there's not much to it, Here's a room, and here's another room, and it's like
here it is,
like cardboard boxes everywhere, and merchandise here and there and that." So I feel a bit not embarrassed, but we are. It feels like we're all roommates living with each other.
So we still got that like college dorm indie vibe going.
Oh yeah,
okay,
totally.
okay.
Yeah.
Salute the brat with the $2 super chat. Salute Lord's great guest today, PC Master Race. Salute. Continue. I'm sorry, Naila. Continue.
And then so this is the atmosphere. It's very chill. We like to on Fridays. We like to have some beers at work, play some games, go out. We're very tight. Yeah.
Nice. That's what's up. That's awesome. Oh, Sav, if you got to jump in, because I got a bunch of questions. I'll be on my bag, Sav. So can let me know. Okay.
I mean, I guess one of the questions that I have, when you go from Contrast to We Happy Few, like when I first saw We Happy Few, for me it was like, wow. Oh, hold on. You immediately get BioShock vibes, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a huge immersive sim fan. So when I got into the world of We Happy Few, I said, okay, I got those vibes, right? And I also got like obviously the survival vibes and stuff like that. Do you guys see yourselves as a studio that's kind of going to continue along that path, or do you see yourselves kind of expanding into different types of? I would say not maybe gameplay, but it maybe diving even deeper into the immersive sim.
Yeah, the reason we wanted to do a simulator with a survival game with We Happy Few is because we were not many people. In the studio, we were like 10. So making a roguelike survival for us was the easiest way to make a game that, it doesn't have to be very big. It just needs a lot of replayability. So, and then as the game, it grabbed so much attention, and people looked at us and said, "Oh, BioShock," and they're like, "But we don't want a survival. We want an action adventure, just like BioShock." So we modified it to be, to be an actual full-on action adventure.
Yeah, because it changed a lot from the initial preview to the actual conception and finish of the product.
Yeah, exactly. So will we go back to survival? I don't know, maybe, but I think we have a little bit of PTSD. We're like, oh my god, those past 5 years have been so crazy. I think we'll try something different maybe for now.
But I think even more than the survival aspect, like when you put that entire story together, that is an amazing story.
Yeah,
like you guys are really amazing storytellers. Like it really.
We have amazing writers. Yeah.
So I mean, whatever you guys do, the fact that I'm a story buff, so above all, characters and story, and I think you guys have that nailed. So it's just a matter of where you take gameplay next.
Yeah, exactly. I think gameplay is where we need to shine in the future. I think we're good. Art direction. Whitney, our art director, is amazing. And our writers are so passionate, and they write great stuff. They make me laugh every day with the stuff they just come up with. And they want to write, they write constantly, like 24/7. If they don't write, they feel very anxious. They're like that passionate about writing, and it's so I think gameplay, as we saw with We Happy Few, it changed so much, and we had a lot of trouble nailing down the gameplay aspect. Right. That's where. So I think that's what we learned from We Happy Few. We know what our strengths are, and we know what our weakness is, and we need to invest in that now from now on.
No doubt. Shout out to Gamer by Choice with the follow super chat. Great show, and the guest is awesome. She seems like an awesome person and gamer. Looking forward to their next game. Got some fans in here, Naila. No doubt. Lord Anchorman, I see you have entered the realm. Is your mic up, sir? Are you there, sir? Uh-oh. Anchorman's in the bushes.
No, the frogman's in the bushes.
He's here, but his mic ain't on, so hopefully he'll get his mic.
Sorry.
Oh, there he is. He's unmuted. There he is.
Pressing the wrong mute button.
All right, my man Anchorman. So we right now we're just talking about obviously the journey of Compulsion, and obviously with contrast We Happy Few, and then just gonna get into. I just want to know if you had any questions in reference to those two games before I go into my next line of questioning. Boy, you good?
Oh no, actually, Saab mostly covers my problems every time.
Okay, Saab took care of you. Saab took care of you.
Minds think alike.
Saab and I are in the same headspace when it comes to these kind of games.
No doubt. So we talk about the uniqueness of obviously to kind of still keep those indie vibes, storytelling, stuff like that. But Lady Naila, I want to talk about what I consider a magic moment for you guys, and that was E3 2018. And to me, you get the call to be part of that all-star team of studios. And we affectionately call him Phil Dominus Spencer here.
Maximus, excuse me, sir. Do not take away
excuse me,
from his
Phil
name.
Dominus
Maximus
Spencer here.
Spencer, sir.
So at that moment, E3 2018, Compulsion Games was officially added to Xbox Game Studios. Your name came on that list of all-star team. So I want to get to the morale and energy of the studio at that time, because obviously being you've talked offline, Compulsion has had an interesting journey, right? I mean, from the beginnings with Contrast, very small, and then you get Gearbox kind of to jump in and partner in with We Happy Few, and then here comes Microsoft. Like, this doesn't happen to a lot of studios. A lot of studios, if they don't make a good game or necessarily knock it out the park the first time, they're not necessarily awarded all these chances where people are like, no, we believe in you guys. So give us the morale, give us the feeling. Xbox Game Studio announcement, Compulsion Games.
For sure. I'll take you back a few months before E3. That's when I was traveling with Guillaume, the founder. We were going to a press event to promote We Happy Few, and he tells me in the plane, he's like, Microsoft called us and they want to buy us. And then and I went, oh, that's cool, okay. And then he's like, no, I'm gonna do it. And then I went, what? And I guess I didn't know what to think. I had all these thoughts. I was like, and we don't want to be told what to do and anything. And he's like, no, it's a good thing. He's like, it's going to be good for the company and this and that. And then I started thinking of all these positive things and how they want to keep us how we are. They like our vibe.
Can you repeat that? Can you repeat that sentence? That is a big point of contention with Microsoft Studio acquisition. What did Microsoft say that they would allow you to do?
to keep our vibe.
I just had to say it. No, because
that's the most beautiful part about it.
Is that what I said?
Yes.
The most beautiful part about it is they came in with the bag, and he said, listen, I'm just gonna give y'all heads up. Microsoft is looking to purchase us, and then he was like, oh, okay, cool. So what do you think? Oh no, we in. The bag is tremendous. We are in, and they're not gonna bother us. So all the fears that anybody had, as a community face, and the fears that the company will have, you took that on, and you was like, the first and foremost. But we're indie, and we don't like to be told what to do, or they're gonna mess with our vibe. And once he assured you that, no, man, they gave the money and was like, do us. Listen, I'm tired of other people trying to say that Microsoft comes in and controls a company.
Right.
And the fact that, you can sit up here and attest to the fact that, they dropped the bag and we are in, and our vibe is still the same. That's amazing to hear.
It's an amazing thing.
It's a dream come true, honestly, for like an indie studio to be able to keep creating and having the tools, because the problem as indie is that, yes, you can do whatever you want, but funds are so hard to come by. You have to find partners and shareholders and all these things. And now we don't have to worry about this or worry if do we have the money to hire a programmer and things like this, So now that we, it's like, here's support, do what you do best. That's it. And we're like, okay. That's awesome.
That is so awesome. I definitely, I know I'm overstating, but I'm glad you're repeating that, because again, like we talked about, most indie studios, you're not afforded that, and it's something to be said to still maintain your creative control, right? Create the games you want to create, but also not worry about the financial aspect. So you kind of breathe a little bit, right? Because prior to that point, there was a lot of pressure. Even with We Happy Few, didn't you initially have like a Kickstarter and goals and stuff like that? So the financial aspect of not having to worry about, and then having full creative control in doing your vision is really important. That's also, Guillaume was on board. He's like, he's doing it. He told you.
Yeah, and I'm like, Guillaume has been in video games for like over 20 years, and he's like, I'm tired, and this is great. This is the best scenario that could ever happen. And I'm like, you know what? It's your company. You do whatever you want. I'm happy for you. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be. If we get to keep doing what we do, it's just better. So why not?
That's awesome. That is awesome. Shout out to Titan 2793 with the super chat. Big smiley face and money bags. That's funny. Shout out to Boom in the chat. Salute everybody. So yeah, in reference to that with the creative process, again, I want to double down as far as another thing I constantly see with a lot of the new Xbox Game Studio acquisitions is this collaborative thing with the other studios. So. Can you do you get to see it maybe either from a tech standpoint or creative ideas? So maybe like Rare, Ninja Theory, are you guys working in collaboration with these guys as well?
Yeah, it's fantastic. For example, our audio sound designer, he can talk to anybody at any Microsoft studio and have some of their sounds, for example, or they have a lot of conference where every department, every audio, whether it's community or programming, animation, they will all get together and talk about processes and techniques and everything. So it's definitely opened a whole world of knowledge and sharing. It's such a beautiful family. It's great.
So a lot of the other companies that are within the larger company get a chance to share tech and to share abilities that you may learn. So one company might learn how to get textures and motion cap up a lot quicker. Whereas if you're looking for that technology, you're able to lean on those other companies within the same company to use that technology back and forth. So you're sharing knowledge within each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I know our programmers just came back a while ago from a conference, and they learned so much from the Sea of Thieves guys, and they're like, oh my god, they do it this way, and it's such a great way to do it. And they're like, this is.
Make sure y'all get that water. Make sure y'all get that water. Sea of Thieves.
That
water that Sea of Thieves is doing, Rare is knocking it out the park with that.
I love Sea of Thieves. It's so fun.
That is awesome. Sav, you got anything? Because I got a couple more questions too. Sav, you good?
Let me think. I'm thinking about something.
Okay, no, just interrupt me because I will go. I'm crazy right now. I'm loving all this Naila talk right now. So this is awesome. So so about that, obviously we got that. in reference to, We Happy Few. And, obviously the DLCs have come and gone. We've got it. We fair to say, what I'm saying, like the reviews are mixed, but at this, we do know that was developed before Microsoft came, before they dropped the bag and stuff like that.
Yep.
So currently, right now, as you stand, like what's the size of Compulsion? And the other question is it like multiple teams, or for the most part, is it like one team because you guys are smaller and you're working on one project? Because I know Ninja Theory has like 2 or 3 teams. That's pretty much my main question.
We are currently 50 people.
Okay.
And we're looking to expand a bit more.
Okay.
But we still want we don't want to go huge. We want to stay relatively small.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
So is it safe to say that your next project is maybe more ambitious than We Happy Few?
Different.
Okay.
But yes, also for different reasons. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Shout out to the Inseparate Ghost. He said, Naila, did your studio philosophy change with the resources that Microsoft bought you guys?
No.
Okay, so philosophy remained the same. Shout out to Lanzo86, $10 super chat. Salute. Awesome show. Awesome guest. Getting some first-hand insight. Yeah, she's awesome. Compulsion's awesome. So, all right, got fair enough, you know what I'm saying, on that. And obviously, I want to talk about, we have to talk about the future, you know what I'm saying? And,
because you touched on it. And what I was hearing is that the game is different from the past game.
Yeah.
So that means they got a little something cooking, baby.
Yeah, I'm going to where I'm going. King is on to something.
Yeah.
I mean, so look, at the end of the day, I just wanted to give some kudos because I think even Aaron Greenberg recently tweeted coming from your guys, studio, and clearly there was some pictures of some things you were looking at. She got the coffee. Let me put the camera. She's got the coffee. She's like, there were some things that people were excited about that clearly seemed to be a new project. Obviously you made the statement yourself that We Happy Few is done. As far as that was the last DLC. And the last thing I want to talk about in reference to that is Phil Spencer himself. He was on Major Nelson's End of the Year podcast, and he specifically said the studio everyone should not sleep on is Compulsion Games. So we know something's cooking now. We know something's cooking. So I know you can't spoil. We're going to get you in trouble. But at the end of the day, how excited should fans be for the next project? And how soon could we possibly get information on the next project? E3? PAX?
She's like, not today.
I'm trying. Listen, Realm, I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying.
Well, how excited. It's honestly, of all the games I've ever worked on, it's probably my favorite thing I've ever heard.
Whoa.
Like the pitch and everything is just awesome. I don't know. I know it's not much to say, but it looks beautiful. And one thing that is public
let's go.
is that it's third person.
Oh! Slow-mo, I helped you out, bro. He said, what kind of genre? She gave us third person. That listen, it's something. Okay, we are excited.
Well,
yeah.
Go ahead, kid. Oh, I can hear y'all bumping. There it goes. I hear Anchorman. I hear Psalm. Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, so what has been the consensus about working with the Series X?
What do you mean the consensus?
In terms of how you guys feel about it, in terms of the resources you're afforded as opposed to working on the one, like things like that, like how much easier or better is it to work on than what you've been used to working on?
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I just see this stuff. I did not say that I was a programmer.
That's what's up. Look, Slow-mo, happy born day. We gave
No,
you
I'm
something
just
for your
saying,
birthday.
just people saying like somebody, wow, this is fantastic, or wow, this is so much easier, or something like that.
No doubt. This is awesome. Look, we're super excited for the next
Yeah,
one.
yeah. We can't go into all of the technicalities of the situation, but what we do know is they do have a game cooking, and she said it's amazing.
That's
and
right.
she's a gamer, so as if a gamer gonna tell you it's amazing and it's third person, look out, it's amazing.
Shout out to Johan Zell, $2 super chat. Can you repeat the name of the game again, like as if you repeated it?
Wow.
This is slick. Yo, our chat thinks it's so slick.
He tried to give Gotti the situation.
That was good. That was good. Okay, I heard on Psalm. I think somebody asking questions.
No, I just, for me, like I said before, like with We Happy Few, I saw like masterful storytelling, like really, especially when you with all the DLCs that tie the entire overarching story of the game together in such a way. I was like, wow, these guys can really put a story together. And when you have that, right, it's just a matter of just expanding the other stuff out. So for me, like I said, like I'm most excited for studios like you guys and like In Exile and stuff like that, because these are studios that have traditionally been storytellers, but just on a smaller scale, right? But the fact that you have these added resources, and now you can, if you want to go bigger, the opportunity is there, right? So there's nothing holding you back. And like I said, for me, anytime you give a studio with that sort of pedigree more resources, the stuff that comes out of it. But for me, like in a lot of ways, the immersive sim is to me like the ultimate game, right? It allows you, it throws you in a world and allows you to do whatever it allows you to manipulate the world in a way that you couldn't in other games, right? And for me, but a lot of that has to do with the storytelling too. So it's not necessarily just a gameplay thing, but I'm just excited.
Storytelling is a big thing for us. We don't want to tell stories that are conventional.
Oh, no, you definitely.
We want different. We want out of the norm. It's otherwise it's boring,
Yes,
absolutely.
And I love the fact when you opted not to take the pill, and the world started to crumble. You started to see the world for truly how it was, and you was like, "What the hell is going on here?" And the level of intrigue built to a boil. It was a slow simmer to a boil. And as you unlayered, the story, you just kept going further and further. And the fact that, what they were doing, like with the birthday party, it was amazing to me how it broke down. Those pills were definitely masking you from the world.
Yeah, it was like it felt like that moment when you get unplugged from the Matrix and you're like, okay, hold on. Wait, wait a minute.
On? Yeah, absolutely.
What is going on here? And this is way too real, right? And you stop it, and you know that if at the start of the game you take the pill, game's over, right? The game ends.
The game ends. Wow.
That is because basically you've succumbed to the joy. That's
exactly. Yeah.
No doubt. Listen, this is tremendous. It's funny that you said that about the whole thing with the pill and stuff, because I heard a story about you were doing your community developer thing, and you had T-Pain. And he was asking you about what is this game about, and you're like, "Yeah, it's about the drugs and taking."
Oh my God! Yeah,
can you repeat that story? That was a classic story with T-Pain.
Yeah, that was at E3 2016 when we first showed the intro with like the birthday and the piñata.
Yes.
And then we after the show on the E3 show floor, we had a demo of the game. And then so I'm there, manning the booth, showing people the game. And then at some point, sometimes at these events, you have celebrities coming because they want to play the game. And then I had this person come. It's like, "Oh, T-Pain wants to play your game." I'm like, "Oh my God, okay." And then a few seconds later, I'm like surrounded by like 2 bodyguards that are huge. And he comes in, and I'm like, "Nice to meet you." And okay, so this is our game. And I explained to him the basis of it. And I'm like, basically, you take drugs to stay. You live in a society where you take drugs to stay happy. And then he just goes, "Oh, that's everyday life for me. What do you mean?"
He's like, "Yeah, I do this all the time. This is
he's like, "Okay, yeah."
So
but then, so then he plays the game. He plays the intro, and I felt really bad because again, sometimes things happen. The game crashes, and then I felt really bad because he played the intro, and then the game crashed, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," He's like, it's okay, it happens. And I think T-Pain is a huge gamer, so he understands these kind of things. So he didn't stick around to try again because I mean, the intro is 5 minutes, so you don't want to do another 5 minutes. Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure he wanted to play other games, so he was very gracious about it. He's like, it's okay, don't worry about it. I'm like, I'll send you a code if you want to play it, if you want to try it. He's like, okay, cool.
Awesome.
And that was the story.
That was awesome. I was laughing when you told it. Last question for the chat, because I know the chat they try to get too much inside information that I know we are not allowed to ask you. But we did. One question that was asked, I didn't get a chance to ask you, was about Game Pass. And right now, a lot of gamers, some gamers are struggling to understand this concept, right? A game of Xbox Game Studios, their games go into Game Pass, available day and date and stuff like that. And we've had other developers on. Shout out to 2 Ton Studios who we've had on, and other developers, Undead Labs, we've had on. And we want to talk about the importance of Game Pass, because some people have a misconception that, if you put the game in Game Pass, you're not supporting the developer. I'm not going to buy it, and because it's in game, I'm going to give it the retail money. So could you explain, how you feel like Game Pass helps Compulsion Games, if at all, in reference to the whole process, the whole subscription service?
Honestly, I wouldn't know, because for We Happy Few, it was still published by
Gearbox.
By Gearbox. So we don't have necessarily a full-on experience with a brand new game that we're doing for them.
Good point.
For Game Pass.
But
I mean, it's a good question, but honestly, I moving forward, I don't know. I guess it's honestly, it's a bit more not legal thing, but it seems like it's. I'm sure. I mean, Game Pass belongs to Microsoft. We belong to Microsoft. So if we put our game on Game Pass, you're supporting us.
Gotcha.
You're supporting just by having Game Pass. You're supporting us.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Hold on one second, last. Victor Alistine tossed chat. Are you guys closer to Double Fine in game design? I guess, do you work with Double Fine? Maybe is his question.
No, we don't. But I'm sure maybe we make similar colorful games.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's what he means. Like what type of games that you make? I think that's what it means.
Oh, okay. I didn't understand the line of questioning. All right. Well, that is, I know we got Lady Naila's on limited time, so we got to ask the final question that we ask all the guests in the realm. I need to know, Lady Naila, your top 5 video games or franchises of all time. No pressure.
Oh my god. Okay. The Legend of Zelda, for sure.
Which one?
My favorite one is it's a tie between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
Okay.
I like them equally. I mean, Ocarina of Time was amazing, but Majora's Mask was so dark and twisted. I loved it.
Nice. Salute. All right.
The GameCube title's disappointed.
Well, who's disappointed? Who's disappointed?
None of the GameCube titles, so disappointed.
No doubt. So that's one. Give me
Top 5. The Last of Us. I loved it.
We will speak about that game
later. Yeah. A lot of new information.
Yeah. Secret of Mana will always have a special place in my heart.
Okay. Ooh, classic.
Yeah. BioShock Infinite. I love. I was definitely there.
Nice. 3.
Oh, fourth or last one.
2 more.
2.
No Force Unleashed.
When you work on a game for a year, you're like tired of it.
Go on.
5th one. Oh my god, I feel like I have so many, but
classic. Or maybe just has a personal effect on you as a gamer. It may not, just it may have impacted you. It had a tremendous influence on you.
Yeah. Definitely Zelda. You know what? I really like Chrono Trigger, but that's new.
Ooh, that's
good. Yes.
That's good. Shout out to
I've only played it last year for the first time.
What?
And I thought,
Wow.
I was very late to it, and my friends for 10 years they've been badgering me. We have to play, and then I'm like, okay. And oh my god, that was amazing.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes,
the Resident Evil franchise. The Resident Evil franchise, for sure.
Yeah, I saw your Resident Evil 3 tweet. I saw.
I love it.
No doubt.
Did you get a chance to play the remake Resident Evil 2?
Yeah, it's really scary, and I love it.
Yeah, I'm playing it right now because Mr. Boomstick he definitely put the stick on me, pause, and he's like, yo, you got to play this game. And I purchased it, and I'm really loving this game.
It's beautiful.
Yes, it's beautiful.
So well made. I mean, all these remakes are, it's a dream come true for a gamer, right? To have a classic being remade in such a beautiful way.
No, now shout out to Slow Mo. He's like, Chrono Trigger, they're going crazy for your choice. They're like, Chrono, Secret of Mana. Yeah, your people are loving it.
I think she's the first person to mention Chrono Trigger in the top 5.
Well, she had 2 RPGs.
Ibanez had Chrono Trigger.
RPG.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Ibanez had, he's the only one. And then, but I think she's the first with Secret of Mana.
Secret of Mana, yes.
That's a classic. And she's like the only one that really mentioned that. Resident Evil always gets love. Of course, Zelda always gets love. You know what I'm saying?
She's an RPG head.
She's an RPG. That's what I'm noticing.
She's an RPG head. So that goes with the cosplay, to be honest with you. You know,
and it goes with the Switch, to be honest with you, King.
Well, listen, I'm gonna throw you in the bushes. But I would have thought you wouldn't have picked Zelda because of the little kid that beat you out on the stage. So I definitely thought you'd be like, everything with Zelda was a no-go. Like, the hell with Zelda?
That little shit, I should have won.
Shout out to the little kid.
I worked weeks on that Ares cosplay.
Oh,
no, I'm joking. I don't care. Like,
technically, you look like you was definitely the winner. Be honest with me. I didn't see the little kid, but I thought you was winning.
And on that note, final question. Obviously, you are known in the realm. Well, some of us know you in the realm. Amazing cosplay. Will you ever bring cosplay back? This is something you're very good at. You're like a dead ringer for Overwatch's Anna. Like, are we gonna get some cosplay from Lady Naila?
I would. I think so. Actually,
that's great.
Okay.
That's great.
Okay.
Yeah, I can say.
So yes, it is confirmed.
Yeah, when promoting our next game, who knows?
Ooh, okay. Okay, and you heard it here first. So look, absolute pleasure. I know you gotta go for the first hour, but we had to salute you. Lady Naila from Compulsion Games, stopping by the road, dropping not true gamer, tons of passion, dealing with our NDA breaking questions, dealing with us in the row. Lady Naila, where can the fine people find you, and what do you have going on?
On Twitter, on Twitter, and then that's it. I'm not super on social because my job requires me to that. I keep Twitter.
Okay, all right. So Captain Scott on Twitter and at Compulsion Games for those who don't know, right? They need to follow that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If you tweet at Compulsion or email or anything, even call us, I will be answering for sure. I'll be the one behind.
Awesome. You have a great day. And again, thank you for hanging out in the row. We will speak again.
Once things start coming out, I'll be happy to come back and talk about it.
We will have you. As things get announced and things that we couldn't talk about today, we will definitely, it will be an honor to have you back in the room.
Oh, that would be great. I would love that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You have a good day. Lady Naila.
Thank you, guys.
From Compulsion Games. Salute. Salute, y'all. Thank y'all for the love, chat. We're going to continue on with the show, even though Lady Naila may have to go. Let's get into the poll results. Last week, poll results are in, and the people have spoken to the question with the recent announcement by Matt Booty regarding the Xbox Series X having no exclusive games at launch. Do you agree with the cross-gen strategy by Microsoft to start a new generation? The winner of the divisive three-way ILP poll at 58% is the yes. Series X games will still be the superior version. Cross-gen is pro-consumer group. Coming in at second at 37% was no. Microsoft needs to showcase the full power of Series X and not be held back by old hardware. And coming in at a very distant 3% of the vote, I don't care. Power of Switch Pro negates anything Series X will release in 2020. Shout out to all the lords who participated in last week's poll. Lord Sovereign, What do you think about this, sir?
I don't know. It seems like that poll question is a little broken now. Considering certain information that's come down the pipeline, I think everybody's following Microsoft.
We gonna get
how it
to
is
that.
nowadays, man. It's a brave new world out there.
Brand new world, man. Shout out.
New
Two super chat. Shout out to Titan 2793. Tell us super chat. Last question. Left or right Twix? You're a fool for that. Salute to Tate for being silly. Oh, shout out to Snaldo, the realm of the stream team. Iron Lord, you already know, and roundtable with the stream team host. Sup realm, just saying hello. Pulling an addict, playing while lurking. Wow. Shout out to that, throwing him under the bus. Shout out to I would say Jamaican Lewis because it's so funny, but I'm calling him by his real name. G. Mark Lewis. $2. Sony not parking lot pimping this year in the tent, and you want to get Brap us off with the last.
Shout out to Brap with the $2 super chat. PC Master Race will always be the best version of ...
Oh man, Christopher Hart's in the chat. Jay Barry in the chat. We got a lot of Sony topics.
Don't start y'all disrespect.
Don't start y'all disrespect.
Oh my God, Christopher Hart out of the bushes. Hello.
No doubt, Naila HD salute. So we're gonna get into it. Thank you for the compliments of professional interview. Thank you. So we're gonna get into it. Obviously, there's a lot of Sony news. I'm gonna switch up the format because Anchorman, I think he knows what I'm talking about. We've actually got some breaking news.
Breaking news. Huh?
Yeah, we got some breaking news, man, and this involves The Last of Us. The Last of Us 2, and again, the rumor had came out initially, so people would say take it for a grain of salt. However, it is brought to our attention that there is a job description right now in NaughtyDog for graphics programmer, with the game team. And there's some specific job description requirements. Join our talented rendering team, develop and implement new and exciting techniques to our up-and game, Last of Us Part 2, and looking at the skill set, thorough understanding of current GPU architectures. AMD, which we obviously know is in the PS5. Then it says GCN, obviously older technology. NVIDIA, which is interesting, and CUDA. And then the final bullet, one of the second to last bullets that really has everyone kind of
buckshot.
It requires console and PC programming experience. So this is straight from LinkedIn.
Why would you need that, Cognito?
I don't know why you would need that if this is a PS5
environment with the PS5. Why would you be talking about NVIDIA?
I mean, they develop games on PC, so
I'm just saying. My question is, why would you need to know about CUDA and all this other stuff?
You didn't know that the PS5 was secretly made by NVIDIA?
Oh my God! That's the secret sauce.
That's the next breaking news that's coming out.
Yeah, they got both AMD and NVIDIA.
Oh, so what you're telling me? So if I got a PC, there's a possibility? What's going on?
Listen, all games. I don't know. I'm gonna bring it to the real. So let's get right into it. What I'm saying? This is the hot one. We go get into also HorizonZeroDawn right with it. But yes, King is Angel. What do you think of this, sir? Like, are we developing Last of Us 2? Is this coming to PC? What's going on?
This is to me the beginnings of a paradigm shift. It really is. It to me, and I said it before. Sony's gonna dip their toe in little by little. Not the way that Microsoft has just outdone it. You're not gonna see first party games day and date in PS Now yet.
Right.
We don't know this right now, man. This is kind of spooky there, baby.
But they're doing it, whether it's like HorizonZeroDawn, right? If it comes to PC this year, it'll be 3 years from its original launch, right? And maybe that's how they want to do it, where they're still giving this sort of a perceived value to the people who purchase their console. But at the end of the day, I think it's a positive thing across gaming. Like I'm gonna be frank with you guys. Like for me, I understand the console war stuff when you're a little kid, right?
Right.
I can understand that. Like when we were young, people were like, oh, I got Sega, I got Nintendo, whatever. And even then, it wasn't like I was hating on the other dude because I didn't like what he had. I was hating because I wanted it and I couldn't get it, right? When you're little, right?
Of course.
So it was like watching when you was little.
So we was pocket watching, right? Because we couldn't afford it, right?
Yeah, you couldn't afford it. You get the one, whatever, or sometimes you be able to get the two. And then, but as soon as I had the ability myself to get whatever I wanted, I got everything because I'm like, no, this is not. And then it was funny to me, like when Cog, you brought me on to the podcast. I'm like, this console war stuff is still a thing. I didn't know because I wasn't on social media, right?
Shout out to the shaming, Sav. Shout out to you pocket shaming these people. Shout out to the dudes that can't afford the other stuff.
But it's not even about affording. I'm like, honestly, I was surprised. I said, people having this conversation still?
He's so elitist.
And they're adults?
He is so elitist. Did you see his wallet? He just threw his wallet on.
He did flex. He did low-key flex.
You're still doing this? Get out of here.
Honestly, it's fun to talk back and forth about fanboys on both sides of the fence, right? But at the end of the day, if you love gaming, this is the best for gaming.
Right.
At the end of the day, what matters is the games, not the props.
This is not the best for gaming. This is not the best for gaming. I do not want my Last of Us on some PC. I do not want my Last of Us over there. This is not good for gaming.
Is it going to affect your soul?
Why are you eating my cookies? Get your face off of my cookies. Listen, no biscuit for you. This is why
no soup for you. No.
Listen, why should they give up their precious commodities? Because once they start going to PC, they have nothing left.
Oh my God!
What's going to happen to the?
Hold on 1 second though. The geeky nerd's fighting us off. He said, "Don't they work on PCs to make games?" And then Delilah clapped back.
What I just did.
Delilah clapped back. She said that NVIDIA mentioned though, because we do know the architecture is different. That would not be the same architecture that's
exactly.
in the PS5.
When you have AMD makes PCs, so if your new console is going to be based on AMD hardware, it would make sense that the PC you're working on is based on AMD hardware. Why would you have an NVIDIA PC doing
There's
that?
absolutely no reason to have any.
But you need to understand, NaughtyDog goes that extra level for no particular reason.
No, it's a reason. Because they letting you know straight up, listen, we sick and tired of you guys trying to lock us into one box. We want that PC money, man.
Here's the thing. Let's get into it, man.
No, but you have to understand, Sony can make it run on anything. They just choose not to.
Right, but let me ask you this. Here's the other
exclusive.
thing. I want to get beautiful. Shout out to Brat with the $2 super chat. Not Sony's first foray into PC. They did it in previous gen. That is true. I want to get you this, Anchorman, because the thing that would be, if this is to be true, right, which it looks pretty, LinkedIn is a legit source. Like, would you think? Because again, let's jump into HorizonZeroDawn as well.
Right.
The news came out. Schreier put it out. It's most likely coming out this year.
I believe you mean Randolph Thorpe put it out and Schreier just jumped on the bandwagon.
My bad. So let's bend the knee to Randolph Thorpe on the Xbox 2. Salute. Randolph Thorpe took tremendous abuse. I put a tweet out. He got personally attacked. It was crazy. And now it's seeming to be true. Jason Schreier also confirmed what he had put out, or Randolph had already put out on ILP. That was a Series X episode. But I want to say, with that news, right, a lot of Sony fan base would say, okay, they didn't necessarily like it, right? Some people were very upset, but some people were like, look, well, that's a 3-year-old game, right?
For now.
It's okay.
Right? So a lot of people are like, look, that's an older game. They can get their money, blah, blah, blah. Last
like
of
they're
Us,
allowing somebody to do something.
Again, being developed this early, right? Do you think this is ultimately setting up a change of philosophy that things may come earlier to PC?
I don't think it's a 3-year gap. That's for sure. It's definitely not a 3-year gap. I mean, no. You can see
maybe 1 year.
Yeah,
maybe.
Listen, shout out to my man Jim Ryan with the dance moves. I love his dance moves. Like, do you understand the way he switch up on you? Yo, he switch his steps. He's like, boom, and then he just break into a freestyle like, y'all are going to do the new philosophy.
So you think this is a setting up?
I believe you mean it's not Jim Ryan, it's Jimicus Minimus.
Listen, I love the fact that he's in pocket. My man is in pocket. He's not playing. You guys are starting to cry. I see the tears all over the Twitter keyboards. I see you crying right now. Your baseless fights are now washed away with your little tears. And I'm loving it so much. The fact that this Last of Us 2 came out just like this on the Lord's Day. This was divine intervention.
It was divine.
Do you understand exactly what they gave me? Like, I came in with a different type of ammo, but bang, bang, Single Street Gang early. Get down, lay down. This is what we're talking about.
Yo.
The knees are mine. I told you what was going to happen and how it was going to happen. And now you little fanboys is all messed up. I told you, just put an X on top of your box because it's ours.
Yo, as much as I want to give you credit, King, I have to say one thing, and I'm normally not one to do this sort of thing, but this is the crap gamer curse, baby. Oh man, that's how it always works.
Like the Madden curse.
Let's keep names out of this discussion. But listen, man. Let me jump in. I mean, yeah, this definitely surprised me. You know, this early to see that kind of you know, saying that they're looking for that right now at this early stage of the game. So to me, when I see that you're looking for that, if you're telling people that you're trying to hire on your brand new game that we want you to start working with in conjunction with a PC port and have that level of experience that is not the tech that is going to be used in PS5, it definitely supports that it's going to PC. The question is when, right? So if that is the case, to me, again, I am guessing, it would assume that development would be earlier than 3 years.
Date, baby.
Right. So the question now becomes, like King just said, day and date. Do we think Sony will ever get to that point? Because we all agree, you know what I'm saying, Microsoft has told their base what the philosophy is, where it's going to go, that it's going to be on every device, it's going to be on PC. Now, do you think this is, with HorizonZeroDawn, is this Sony saying, yo, we getting y'all ready for what eventually may come, or you still think they'll keep their old methodology of still not day and date like Microsoft is?
I think they're taking baby steps in that direction, but I think eventually you have to get there, because when you think about when is your game, when is the hype around the game at its highest, right? The first week or two after launch, right? Obviously, if somebody drops a game like a God of War, right, and a God of War gets a PC port next year, right, or late this year or something like that, it's gonna sell because it's God of War, right?
Right.
But how much more would this is me, just maybe I'm wrong about this. How much more would God of War sold across the board if it's available on other platforms right at launch, right? Or at least the PC platform right at launch? You're gonna sell an insane amount of money up front, right? Insane amount of copies up front. And I think if they don't have something akin to a Game Pass, right? If PS Now doesn't evolve into something that's more like Game Pass, which by the very virtue of those games constantly being there and being sort of pushed to the forefront and being in the conversation, if they do something like they do with PS Now, where things rotate in and out on short intervals, they're not going to have the base there to be able to create buzz around an old game to resell it much later than launch, right? So unless they do that, then you have to start considering, well, maybe we have to sell it across more than one platform at launch to get the most out of it, right? That's my thinking.
Okay.
My thinking is this, right? Oh, we'll get that super chat real quick.
Can you get that for me, Sal?
Hold on one second. Shout out to Stitch6669 with the $5 super chat. So, Cog, what happened with Let's Think About the Kids message? Because PC gaming can be very toxic at times.
Listen, that's for
Stitch,
me.
You might be onto something.
You might be onto something. Listen, here's the thing. When me, Stitch, you know, shout out to Stitch today. He had the ILP crest up on Twitter today. Salute that brother, man. And no Switch topic, so you'll be happy today. But listen, you know, the way I look at it is, we always talk about being king, always talk about, it's just antiquated thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, antiquated thinking. The people who are in their feelings about, you know, Sony putting their exclusives on PC, they're in the business of making money, just like Microsoft. You know what I'm saying? And they see, sometimes Sony will dip their foot in first, right?
I don't think they're dipping their foot. I don't think they have the resources capable to move in a manner that Microsoft does. Possibly. Microsoft has built this philosophy from day one, to be honest with you.
Right.
And they had this overarching brand and how they was going to build it to get to a point A, from point A to point B, right? Sony is kind of doing it haphazardly in the manner of, they didn't have the infrastructure set in place for the PlayStation Now and how it should have been going forward, right? But I think they have changed their philosophies in how they're going to use it, right? So we all know, I believe date and date is a thing. It doesn't hurt to have your game date and date on multiple areas of purchase. It only helps that same game. Now, anytime somebody joins into your ecosystem, that game is new to them. No matter if they purchase a console or have a PC, you know, they still purchase into your ecosystem and they're part of your ecosystem. So when you decide to say that, oh no, I don't want my game to be played on multiple venues, listen, that's a selfish mentality because you're overall asking for your company to die. All right. If you play on PC and somebody's playing on PS5 or PS4 or whatever, that doesn't affect you. But the fact that you get to play together does affect you, right? And this is how it affects you because it puts more eyes on your product. Well, it's not your product. It's a product that you went out and purchased that you are enjoying the same way the PC guy is enjoying it. Now, my thing is this. Are Sony guys upset that the game will be played better on PC and they're getting the inferior version of the game?
Here's the vibes. That's a good question. Here's the vibe. Shout out to Face 2349. He said, did Disney put Rise of Skywalker day one in Disney Plus?
You know what? Okay. And all right, so they have different passes, right? The movie theaters are doing this thing now that if you purchase into their type of a service that you can go see any movie at any time, right? So that's a service that they have. If Disney Plus was doing a service like that to circumvent the movie theater, the industry that kept them alive for forever, which would be ignorant, to be honest with you. But let's just say for argument's sake, they did that. How much do you think that service will cost you? Would you pay for that service? Would you pay $50, $60 a month that every movie that they drop date and date you can watch right there on your television? So that won't be conducive to overall sales in the movie theater. But if that is allowed to happen, then fine, that will work for those individuals that chooses to purchase into that part. But if you're asking from a video game company day and date to put it into their streaming service, their environment, that's something that they control, that they get 100% of the profits back. This is not a GameStop type of situation where money is being exchanged and they're getting no profit of it. The developers and the company gets all of the profit. They get all of the engagement. So if it's on PC or PlayStation, it's a benefit for that platform. I don't understand why individuals are in such an uproar. If the game come out date and date, it does not affect you. It just gave you an option on where you can purchase it at.
Well, here's the thing, and let's get to it. You know, shout out to Gamer Forte, $2 super chat. PC fans rejoice. We getting closer to ruling the ball. Yo, you being petty out here. Shout out to Clutch Man with the $5 super chat. People hate when Microsoft lets them sell games to customers on both generation consoles and PCs. More copies sold equals more money, and quick money means sequels sooner. I think you may be onto something with that. Here's the thing, and the reason why I'm saying antiquated thinking is that, again, a lot of times I feel that the Sony fan base is so used to the old mantra, which is, you know, exclusive games make you buy the console, right? And then the console sales is the ultimate, you know, I guess quantify the ultimate stat in as far as success is concerned. But what we're learning, shout out to Matt Piscatelli, MPD, is that ecosystems is actually the new wave now. We want you in our ecosystem. We want you part of PlayStation Now. We want you part of all this. And then, like you said, King, like ultimately, this is about making money. So if they are making more money by having it on PC, if you're a console gamer, let's just call it 100, and you have no intention of buying a PC, why does that affect you? Why does that affect you? It should not affect you. So the thing that it's like this, you know, squeezing the puppy syndrome. It's mine. No one can have it. It's mine. Like, bro, it's millions of people who've never going to get a chance to experience this game. That does not affect you. You're still enjoying your PlayStation 4 exclusive on your console why is that affecting your fun? You should never allow another group to experience a game get you upset. Like, why is that getting? Like,
I want to know
bro.
why individuals feel it's not good for devs that their game is being seen and being purchased by more.
We've already debunked that. That is just foolishness talking. Even with the Game Pass stuff like that, these guys are getting money up front based on the projected sales of their game. So that's out of the question. It just comes down to an old mentality that in order to buy consoles, it has to be exclusive, right? We're not saying exclusives don't have value. That's not what I'm not saying. But at the end of the day, it's not the number one driver like it used to be. They are all about this software and getting you an ecosystem.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. They've associated the identity of the brand with the box, and that's a stupid thing to do, right? And it doesn't make any sense anymore, because when you think about how expensive games are to make in this day and date, right? It is it's a miracle that more devs haven't gone under. It's a miracle. So how do you have to find a way to make the dissemination of these games across all of the gaming sphere as easy and as consumer friendly as possible, because we're the ones that keep it afloat. We're the ones that keep it afloat. I love the tech in these boxes. I love it. But it all comes together. If you're selling more games, and if you're able to sell more games across the board, right, you're going to continue to get these boxes that you like to play them on. Because at some point, if that is not the case, and isolating your games to one piece of hardware, it means that you're making less money overall, then we will come closer and closer to this platform agnostic future where literally everything is just a service, and you can stream it on your phone, or you can do this. All that stuff is coming.
Right.
But believe you me, the continuation of a console as a box under your TV is directly correlated to how well the games in these ecosystems sell.
Right.
If you can sell more and be more profitable by putting it on other platforms, you need to do it for the sake of gaming as a whole.
Here's the thing, Saul. And Schreier, he actually brought it back into what you were saying. I think, Anchorman, back up from the mic a little bit. I don't know if that's you somewhere. But anyway, all right. So he says, for most publishers, the release of a game on PC is no big deal. Right? He said, but most video game companies try to put their software on many platforms as possible. He said, but for Sony, this is a remarkable move. Since the launch of the PlayStation 1 in 1994, just about every game funded and developed by Sony has been exclusive to a PlayStation platform. Sony's strategy has always been in the past to drive hardware sales with software and vice versa. One would expect them to take the same approach with future games. He said, but what Ms. Matt Piscatella said, which what I talked about, he said, the future of video games lies in ecosystems, not platforms. Sony's biggest competitor, Microsoft, has been more upfront about its platform agnostic strategy. And he said, with Phil Spencer talking about wanting to get games in as many hands as possible. For the past couple of years, Microsoft has released all of its Xbox games on PC as well. Will Sony follow suit with its own state of PlayStation exclusive? This upcoming PC port of Horizon may be a telling sign, which is what we're talking about. They could be changing philosophy. This is something they've never done.
Philosophy changed the second boy got in the office. As soon as he got in there, he kicked old dude out. He changed how PlayStation Now was. If you don't see the philosophy is completely different, you're insane. If you don't see the fact that he's pushing the company into a new stratosphere and taking it out of the dark ages, I mean, you're not in the closet no more. What they're trying to do is they're trying to open the doors for all the developers and trying to make sure that money keeps coming in. If they do not change, they will be left behind. So what are you looking for? You're looking to become Data East? Right. Do you understand? At this point in time, consoles are looked at as antiquated. They don't want the living room space. Right. They're trying to eliminate us. As you see what Stadia's whole mantra is? Right. Stadia's whole mantra is, you see the commercial, the guy sticks his little finger in the window and boots your console out of the window. So if you don't think companies don't want to do the manufacturing costs for consoles, they don't want to deal with any of that. If they can click a switch and you can play their games without them having to sell you a console that they have to build from scratch, they have to do research and development, they have to get this tech into your hands. If they can eliminate that barrier from making that tech and use all those resources to put them on service, something you don't physically own, that's Magic.
Yo, hey, they killing you, bro. They like, if you snoring, you can't be sleeping on ILP.
I'm waiting to talk.
Yo, you got back. You got that.
I don't know why it's this loud.
Yeah,
I really, it's
your
completely.
nostrils are
It's
coming
like
through.
it's like a foot away from my mouth.
Yeah,
Yo, did we miss a bunch of super chats? Or did
we
get
missed
the
a bunch,
chat?
man. Brap.
Okay, so shout out to Brap with the $2 super chat. It's about exclusives on ecosystems now. Yes, you are correct, sir. Shout out to Crazy Mate Gaming with the $2 super chat, hanging out with the ILP on the Lord's Day. Let's go for sure. And we have shout out to Brap again with the $2 super chat. This was the tug of war between Layden and Ryan, absolutely, about the philosophy, PlayStation philosophy moving forward. And shout out to Face 23 BKNY. Just because Microsoft had to change the narrative doesn't mean Sony doesn't have to follow suit exactly to the T day and date. Won't happen for a while. I'll agree. I agree. It won't happen for a while, but they are on the road to it. They're on the road
upside your head, and you got to really eat that one right there. Because I can't wait till it's date and date. And then you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be so petty. I'm gonna let my petty hang out. So crazy, Paul. I'm gonna go and make sure. Listen, let me tell y'all something.
Hold on, before you go in, finish that last one from Brap, the $5.
Oh yeah, Brap with the $5 super chat. Gamers discuss times are changing. Streaming is the future. No more console exclusive, etc. Nintendo, hold my beer. That Nintendo's still holding for. You gotta see, man. We gotta see. We don't know what's happening with Nintendo, but yeah, right now they're definitely holding firm.
If Last of Us 2 comes out day and date on PC, my petty gonna hang paws. I'm going to the store and I'm buying the PC version of The Last of Us 2 just to turn you guys up a million. I'm gonna post it too, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna install it. And I'm gonna let it boot up with all the patches and all the fun that's gonna go down. And I'm gonna record myself playing Last of Us 2 on PC if it comes date and date. Oh,
hey, there's playing devil's advocate for a moment. Like, there is a possibility that maybe it's not Last of Us 2 that's coming to PC, and maybe they're just looking to hire someone who has that as a long-term potential goal.
I mean,
there's a possibility about that.
Last of Us 1, right?
The job description does say we want you to be part of our team for Last of Us Part 2 specifically. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that kind of drives me with graphics promo. But again, I mean, grain of salt, like you said, Egg. I mean, we can't take it 1,000%, but the indicators are strong.
It tells you what their ultimate goal is. Maybe not this particular game, but
right.
If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
What is it, King?
It's a duck. And so y'all guys can sit there and talk about, nah, that's a sheep. No, it's a duck. So, and you can sit there and don't want to look at it. And it's looking you right in the eyes and it's going quack, quack. So you can play that game if you want. The now game is perfect. That's a river in Egypt. You, my friend, are in trouble.
Denial. Yo, you stupid. Yo, it's crazy, man. Let's get into the next room. I'll actually get right back to Anchor because this is something, again, you know what I'm saying, that King brought to the table. And one of your favorite games, obviously, is the Order 1886. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, again, this one is the source is a little sketchy, you know what I'm saying? But their rumor is from a supposedly some, high profile source who's been right in the past.
If it's Tidux, it's a lie.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually, this is some Osiris is back. I don't know what to believe, but the rumor is, ReadyAtDawn is thinking about bringing the Order 1886 with a sequel, and that the sequel will be multiplat. So it got to the point that it was on Games Radar, and even Colin Moriarty, he had responded to it, actually. He had said, the game had potential. The team was too focused on the tech to make the product itself truly shine, and Sony was frustrated with the process behind the scenes. For ReadyAtDawn to get another crack and go multiplat, Sony would have to relinquish the IP. But then he says, stranger things have happened. So what do you say? Obviously, I know you're a huge Order 1886 fan, one of the biggest I know. Like, what do you feel about it? The potential? Would you like it? Don't think it's realistic? Where you at with this?
I hope. I can hope and dream that it is real. Do I think it's real? I put it on par with the people saying Rise 2 is going to happen.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Like it's basically the same kind of scenario. I really hope it would happen. I just don't know if it will. It did not get the reception that it needed.
Right.
To be like warrant, like it'd be one thing because it did not sell great and it didn't have good critical reception.
Right.
The problem is I don't think it didn't get like cult status later either. So just I can't see Sony bringing it back. I mean, they have plenty of their own titles that they aren't bringing back that had critical success or became cult favorites. But
bring it over.
You never know. I mean, Medieval came back. Voodoo Vince came back.
But who did that for you, though?
So you want to get these super chats, sir?
Hold on a second. So we have shout out to JD. Okay. So shout out to JD Game with the $5 super chat. Let me slide through to the ILP. Pause. ILP killing these fools. King throw them in the bushes. These PS fanboys out here on suicide watch.
on that note, throw them in the bushes in the stores right now. Go pick that up.
You stupid. Shout out to oh my God. Clutch
Shout out to Clutch Man 01 with the $2 super chat. Anchor Man is auditioning for Sony's new flute, man.
Hey man, I'm waiting for E3 2021, baby. Gotta practice now.
No doubt. So soft, man. 1886. This far-fetched. This is ridiculous. Where you at?
I mean, stranger things have happened. Look, listen. Bungie separated from Activision, and they let them keep Destiny.
Man, no choice.
Anything can happen, and like Anchor said, if Sony have been the ones to nurture IP, right? You come out with a first shot and wasn't the greatest, but there's potential there. Especially 1886. The lore in that game, everything that's in that world is fantastic. Just the game was derivative and not. It just wasn't super fun to play. But everything else around
disagree with that.
It was a fake.
I would say people did not like the game because it was not the $60 experience they were hoping for. It was really short.
It was.
And for me, like I paid $8 for it. That was the best $8 game I ever played.
Anchor, let me ask you a question. Being that you said that Sony was so forceful with them in the background as far as maxing out the tech. And at the launch of the system, because they were so consumed with showing the power of the PlayStation 4 and not letting the company gradually grow into the power. Do you believe that hurt the overall game?
I think it was more because they were being a tech demo game, and I don't believe the whole Sony like we're trying to rush them or something like that. I think they were largely, they knew this was a tech demo game.
So
everybody knew
my question is, do you feel that them using that projection point to maximize the power of the system hurt the overall design of a game that could have been a whole lot more fun had they been allowed to grow into the tech instead of displaying the tech in the first 6 months of the console?
I already know where you're going. I already know what you're doing, King. You onto something. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. You're talking that cross-gen talk. You're talking that Series X get lashback.
This is what I feel. Well,
the argument is that no piece of software at the launch of a console is really showing the power of the system.
It's not showing anything. I mean, if you got bigger sprites, different resolution, blah blah blah, that stuff, and in third. I love the Order. Okay, let me tell you, I thought the Order was the top-notch game. Was it the Gears beater? Hell no. It wasn't even the same stratosphere as Gears, but the game looked fantastic. The game actually showed you what the PlayStation could do. And I think it actually suffered from that whole aspect of their mandate that they felt that they had to live up to a tech demo philosophy. And I think that's shrunk the game in size and scope. That hurt the game where it could have been a cult classic. It could have been that game that lived on in the PlayStation ecosystem. But these PlayStation dudes were so consumed with power and trying to show something that it actually hurt the overall product. And I think the philosophy that Microsoft has going forward, where they allow their companies to grow into the tech, and during the transition year, you get a chance to play these games through cross-gen and cross-platforms, and it can actually grow. So when the companies do release these games, they're not forced. There's no guns to their head. They don't have to live up to some mantra that you guys are putting on their back with showing power first day and date. You're going to see something different. You're going to see different type of particle effects. You're going to see, if you actually have a 4K television, you're going to actually see 4K 60 graphics. So I believe that the philosophy is antiquated and it hurt a really good product. I love the werewolf lore. I love the world. But
everything was fantastic about that.
That game coming to Microsoft now will have a chance to live in Game Pass.
Here we go.
It will definitely have a home where you guys shunned it. You got the power, right? Y'all got the tech. Y'all had everything right there, and you took it for granted. Now it's up for dibs now. Now we're going to show you how to hug a game, how to love a game, and how to make sure part 2 is well received in Game Pass.
King, you trying to woo they boo? Is that what you trying to do?
I'm trying to tell them right now. Hey, listen, we'll love you better over here.
I can love you better.
We'll
LL Cool King. Let's get him.
We treat you right. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to take the bus. No more sitting at the bus stop. You know,
we're gonna have to get ReadyAtDawn. Is the next studio on ILP developer interview?
Hey, if that's a situation, you know who? That's when Suicide Watch really happened. You understand? If ReadyAtDawn is ready in pocket, you dudes are finished. I mean, you might as well just wrap it up, pack it up, and put an X on that box, baby.
And it goes back to that feeling like that there's truly a change in philosophy in the wind, because it's like back in it, you would see Sony nurture a game that was so and turned it into a mega franchise. And that's the exact opposite of what Microsoft would do. Like if it didn't shine out the door, it was kicked to the curb. That was it. And you know, and when you're thinking about your ecosystem as something that lives across generations of hardware and across different platforms, you can look at smaller games. You can look at games that have not been, given the chance that perhaps they deserved, or perhaps were did not get eyes on it. You can give it a chance, right? In a way that's not right to you.
Are you saying throw that on PC? It should be going date and PC too.
Throw it on PC. Phil still have it. When he talked about Game Pass and putting stuff episodically on Game Pass in order to sort of to absorb costs. That still hasn't happened yet, right? And I still think we get a game like that at some point.
Pretty interesting. We got some super chats, y'all.
Final Fantasy will definitely thrive in Game Pass. This is what you're saying, like an episodic game.
Listen, if you put the Order 1886 out on PC and Xbox right now, that's another, I would say, easily, and you sell it for $19.99, right? That's, you're a million.
I'm not. Listen, first of all, I didn't.
Well, you sell it for $19.99 on other platforms.
Don't cheap out on me.
You put it on Xbox Game Pass, right? Ultimate, right? And if you want to purchase it elsewhere on PC, then a $20 game, whatever.
Wait. Time out. I need to be clear first. You talk about the first one?
First one.
Oh yeah, throw it on Game Pass.
You're gonna sell a million more copies. I think. Easily.
I thought you talking about part 2. I'm like, don't do that.
We got JD Gamer with a file super chat. These PlayStation fanboys holding out for day and date on that lonely island. Their last bastion of glory. It's over for them. The curse is upon them. And then Phase 23 BKNY with the final super chat. Clap back. Same way you guys won Sony at E3, and that ain't happening for a while. If ever, it's the same way Sony ain't doing day and date for a long time. He holding firm, y'all. He like, it's not happening.
You that dude that drank the Kool-Aid talk about they don't need to be at E3. Yeah, listen. That conversation of them not needing to be at E3, we about to get into that.
Let's transition. We might as well. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, it's right there. Look, I don't know what's going to happen with the Order 1883 or whatever, 1886, excuse me. But, it is interesting that this came up. We'll see how true it is. I would like the game. It would be cool addition for, I guess, Series X or whatever. But we shall see if Sony relinquished the IP or not. But we've
Give
got
me
to
that
talk
IP.
about. We got to talk about the main event, man, and which is E3 and Sony skipping E3 again. So a statement has been made. And shout out to GamesIndustry.biz who put out the information. Salute to those guys who do great work. After thorough evaluation, SIE has decided not to participate in E3 2020. We have a great respect for the ESA as an organization, but we do not feel the vision of E3 2020 is the right venue for what we are focused on this year. We will build upon our global event strategy in 2020. What'd you say, Egg?
They're not focused on games.
Oh my
I thought
God.
that's what E3 is about.
Behave. We will build.
I'm getting mixed messages. I don't understand anymore.
Focused on activations.
We will build upon global event strategy in 2020 by participating in hundreds of consumer events across the globe.
I gotta say that 100 of community events is Papa John's.
Shut up. Y'all being petty. Y'all being petty.
Is the Taco Bell giveaways?
Relax. Our focus is on making sure fans feel part of the PlayStation family and we have access to play their favorite content. We have a fantastic lineup of titles coming to PlayStation 4, and with the upcoming launch of PlayStation...
Why are they not good enough for E3?
y'all so petty.
Yo, Anchor, I'm about to tear this building down.
And with the upcoming launch of PlayStation 5, we are truly looking forward to a year of celebration with our fans. And then I believe the ESA clapped back and said, in response to them, we said E3 is a signature event celebrating the video games industry and showcasing the people, the brands, the innovation. And basically, they saying we still gonna be exciting, we still a high energy show, blah, 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 blah.
Back. It says Sony broke. They couldn't pay the bill, so they skipped out on us.
That's not what they said. Anyway,
it's reminiscent of when you going to go book an Airbnb and then you hit the let me reserve that. Wait a second, why did the price switch? Oh, wait a second, I can't afford that. We, at this point in time, our focus will be on other things because, we going to spread it out through hundreds of game studios throughout the
year. Ridiculous. Moving along, shout out to JD Files in chat. Is that what we doing? Letting all these Xbox-hating PlayStation fanboys, will kick the door down then and let them in. Don't worry, PlayStation fan, it's safe in here. Okay, all right, JD. He's on.
JD's on fire today.
He's on fire today. JD's on fire today. But listen, the news came down very fast. They're not going to be at E3 again. A lot of people had assumed they would be. Obviously, PlayStation 5, a big console launch. Let's set it off with Solve first, because I think I know where Anchor and King are going. So let's get Solve. I mean, when the news broke, what's your feeling? Is this a mistake? Are you cool with it? Does Sony have the right to move how they want to move? Where are you at with this whole situation?
They have the right to move how they want to move, but it's disappointing. It's disappointing because it's like, listen, I agree that in a lot of ways E3 is antiquated. And what I mean by that is that they're still in that gray area where they haven't figured out how to transition from purely a trade show and making it a fan-centric show, right? They're still not PAX. Right. They're working on that. I'm not sure that the direction they're going is necessarily that, but you do have to make it so that it is a viable place where people really want to go and they know they're going to be able to actually play games. And then, so it's a matter of evolving it to make it appealing to both publishers and devs and gamers to come. And I'm not saying that's an easy thing, but they're not there yet. Right. So in that sense, yes, definitely it's antiquated. That said, I'm disappointed they're not going this year because it's a console launch year. How do you not? They have such a history with announcing and launching consoles, or not launching consoles, but announcing consoles and blowing them out at E3s. Right. It's disappointing that they're not, at least for the fans, going to do that head-to-head thing with Microsoft. That's super disappointing. I don't care what the politics behind it or the economics behind it are. I don't care. Right. They should be there this year.
But what about this, Salve?
You gotta understand, though. Maybe that's the entire strategy. Sony's used to going after Microsoft for E3, so they're just gonna skip that whole conference so they have time to rebound.
Because I would tell you this. If they were to come back, right, and I'm Microsoft, I'm like, no, I'm going second. You relinquish your spot. I'm going second, just in case I have to rebut in some way, shape, or form.
Chance to go second because of the fact of how the timing is in Japan.
Right.
I always thought that that put them at an advantage because Microsoft, based in the United States, they went first because they on home turf, and then Sony always went second because of the time difference between Japan and the United States, because they wanted maximum eyes because that is their home turf. They wanted their home people to actually see their conference and stuff like that. So I never thought that it was thought of strategically. It was just a byproduct of being in a different time zone that actually helped them, and it turned into an advantage, to be honest with you, later on.
Absolutely does.
Yeah,
absolutely. When you have the ability to put something together in an hour to rebut something,
we saw it.
That to this day is a meme, right? To this day is a thing. I think it matters.
Yeah, what about this, Soft? In the sense that we know they're not going to be there, right? But what about? I guess my issue, what I'm saying, let's get to it, is that even Nintendo doesn't do the traditional ESA press conference, right? But they have a presence on the floor, right? They have a direct during the week. My problem last year was that, okay, I get it. I do get it with Sony and ESA. Even though I'm disappointed as a gamer, I want Sony to be there. I get it. If you don't feel it's beneficial, you don't want to financially. I'll even throw King a bit bone. If you financially don't want to spend that bread for that boot space and all that, I get it. My question then is like, why can't you have a dedicated event that's off-site? Microsoft does their own thing off-site, or even if you don't want to pay for the event, you can do the Sony State of Play during that week. The problem I had is they had no presence at all. No video, nothing for the fans. And my main concern is this. And I know people are saying, yo, it's antiquated, it's over, it's dead. I get that. But if you're a fan of the PlayStation brand.
Shout out to the 200 people and watching live.
Shout out to the chat, exactly. The question I have is just like, don't you want a fan? They haven't done a fan event in a while. And the things that they have done has either been isolated to their own or just for the press. Like, isn't PSX was canceled, I believe, 2018 or whatever. It's just one of those things. I just want them to have a fan event to showcase, because we know what they're going to do to reveal, right? Reveal is most likely all intended purposes, it looks like February. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get the PlayStation 5. We're going to see what it is. But it's just sad that you can't do anything where the fans can go hands-on, post PlayStation 5 launch and say, yo, here's the games, whatever, beside it, let it be a third party. That's my thing.
And that coupled with the fact, and we said this before, it's like they've gotten away from having personalities, and it's like not in the way that Microsoft, like everybody's a personality at Microsoft, whether it be it's
they've got a personality.
Whether it's Phil. They've
Phil Dominus or Booty Call. Everyone's got something.
And it's just like they don't. It's just very weird because in this type of industry, it's fan driven, right? You have to engage. You don't have to engage with the people buying Sony Wega, you don't have to, but when it comes to gaming, you need somebody up there to be the face of it and to engage with people and to put a face to this box.
Right.
And it's like it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And like you said, I don't even care if it's like a direct style thing. Just give something.
That's all I'm saying.
That this is the place where gamers are going to be looking at in June. Like this is always the case, right? And I understand, like, the internet is what it is. The internet allows you to touch however many people at the drop of a hat. But it's not the same thing. And so long as this venue continues to exist, particularly in a console launch year, I think it just sucks they're not there.
We got some super chat. Shout out Dizzy with the $5 super chat. Sony concluded Phil Spencer ain't about to have a Don metric misstep, so they couldn't crack back now with how to share game jokes and pulling their DRM. And then you want to get Raymond Morel also?
Okay, shout out to Raymond Morel. With the $5 super chat, ILP panel, do you feel Microsoft will pull their punches at E3 2020 like 2019 because of no Sony presence? I don't.
Nah, new Phil. Sorry, baby. Nah.
There's no. at the start of this generation, we talked about how Sony does it. They never take the boot off the neck, no matter what. Like Microsoft could be hanging out in the corner quiet, and they would just walk by them and mush them for no reason, right? Like stay and keep the boot on the neck. And yeah, I would love to see Microsoft do that and be like, no, we're gonna blow out everything that we have to talk about. We're not holding anything back for anything. We'll just as events move on, we'll go into more detail on the things that we talk about at E3. That's my hope. And I think I agree with King. I think they need to take the mentality like, listen, if this is going to be it, we need to be aggressive and act like we're the ones putting the boot on the neck.
Right.
Well, right now, he is the one putting the boot on the neck. Right now, everything that they do, there's a rebuttal. He give you a 24-hour notice on your neck. And let's get at it. Let's call a spade. They didn't have any games to show at E3. They was going to be showing you an old sizzle reel and all this other stuff. So that was the reasoning, right? And then these PlayStation heads was talking all that. Well, they're going to come back next year, bigger, better, bolder. Boy, look at you now. Look at you now, sitting in your sauce, right? You sitting in your sauce right now, and I want you to
look at him now.
I want you to sit in that sauce and stew, because you talked all that hot boy stuff, talking about they was coming with all the smoke, and they told you straight up, we are not there. So if last year the excuses they didn't have any games or they didn't have nothing new to sell or nothing new to show, they ain't got nothing new to show now. So that we're gonna keep that same energy from last year. We're gonna put it on this year. All they're gonna show is PlayStation 4 stuff and enhanced stuff that's gonna go to PlayStation 5. And they know they can't go up to the stadium talking about, we got these old games to get you in the mix. No, because Microsoft is showing you new stuff. Last year, the Microsoft showed you all head rock bangers, and they didn't even go hard on you. Pause. They said they put out those games. They showed you, okay, this is what's going to come out through the year. They twisted their stuff around just to fit the format because dudes was scared to box. So right now, Microsoft is like, oh, you don't want to throw no punches? They're trying to TKO you. So if you think going into this E3 right here, your man is going to wear kid gloves on you? No, not at all. He's going to take the lining out and knock your jaw loose. You are in complete trouble right now, because what you gonna come with? Last of Us again? What are you gonna do? Last of Us remix? What are you gonna do? So, Godfall? What? Come on, it's on PC. Get away from me. So,
this is the thing. They would have to.
They would have games for you.
They would have to talk if they do come to, right. If that were the case, and if they were to come to E3, right, they would have to talk basically only about new stuff, because everything that they have on the calendar is essentially coming out before, right? Well, except for Ghosts. Except for Ghosts.
So here's the thing. Let's play fair, for the sake of argument, with the PS5 reveal that we know is coming, right? So we do the specs. No more logo. We got the logo out the way, but we do the specs. We do the hardware. Do the visual. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if we get the price, whatever. But what if they showcase an exclusive game that many don't know about, and wouldn't they be able to galvanize their base just like that for the people that say they don't need E3? Like if they just did that and then walk off.
They're not doing it though.
No, I think they do. I think they have something. But again,
I think what's that Guerrilla Games game? What's that shooting game?
Horizon or Killzone?
No.
Killzone.
All right, they're gonna show you Killzone is gonna actually look like the trailer that they showed the last time. It's gonna actually play like that.
PlayStation 2.
But they're gonna go up against Halo Infinite. You're gonna get smashed in the mouth.
Oh my god, y'all out of control right now. Let's get these super checks. This is crazy. Shout out to Reform Toad to our super chat. E3 2020 breaking news. Sony tweeted. Oh my god, y'all retarded. Oh, JD gave a $5 super chat. So we are all in agreement that PlayStation is not showing up to E3 because Microsoft was like, we not showing our hand first. We want to go second, and PlayStation was like, bye E3. Yo, JD game is out of control. Shout out to Mr. High in the chat.
No, wait a minute.
Yeah, get it.
That gave me a thought. What if Sony actually did that?
Did what?
Like they go out there and they say, hey, we know we're not at E3, but here's a picture of the console. Bye.
I mean,
I said they were going to do something like that last year.
We thought last year they would do something. I mean, they still could make some type of, singular statement, whether it be the price, you know what I'm saying, or
go out there and show that VR though. This is what I'm talking about. You got my joint in the box. Show that VR, man. Let me use my VR, man. Don't give me that whack Iron Man. Yo, set it up, man. Give me that VR, man. You call me an Xbox? Nah, I got that PlayStation. So I got more PlayStation stuff than you. Shut up.
Oh my god.
By the way, did you guys see that that leaked design
Yes.
for
yes.
PlayStation 5?
Disgusting.
Oh my god, if that's real, I never want to hear anybody talk about the Series X like not fitting in their spot ever.
I don't know. I mean, it just looks the cooling would look
like a
horrible.
fidget spinner.
Cooling would be horrible with that. I mean,
The
based
feng
on
shui is off. The feng
I
shui
don't
is
know, man.
off.
Shout out to Stitch with the 12. So what specs? 9 still less than 12. Allegedly bushes. You got the bushes going on. You know, so I mean, I hear what y'all go. I hear what y'all saying. I mean, it's just like I said, just from a fan's perspective, this is where I'm at, King. You know, you got the right as Sony to not show. Right, you've earned that right. ESA has got doxxed.
No right to not show up.
ESA, come on, all right. Just in fairness, ESA just got doxxed.
I
all
will
the
say
media from Sony, everybody got their personal business.
Why are you acting like Sony be out there talking to fans? Like you don't ever see them dudes talking to nobody. Like you can walk down the street and see Major Nelson, you can see Phil and everybody outside. You don't ever see Sony is sequestered inside some building someplace that nobody knows in the corner someplace else. Don't act like they out there running around among nobody cares about nothing. We probably don't even know the names that were showing up there. Like,
I mean, hey, you just give them a free 6 months of PSN. I mean, Sony's used to that.
Come on, man.
All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, y'all being petty. All I'm saying is,
I'm having mad fun.
Yes, y'all having a lot of fun today. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, they've earned the right to say, look, ESA, we don't like we join. And ESA is jumping out the box.
The fact that you keep saying they earned something, you keep giving these dudes a back door.
I don't like it.
Earn anything, man.
I don't like it.
You don't get a chance to tell your fans and give them the thumb up like this to them.
I agree.
No.
I agree. Listen, all I'm saying is the ESA part. That we could say, yo, fam, we not showing it on your stage.
Okay.
Right, but we could do it on our stage, on our building, how we want to do. We ain't got to pay you no bread, right? We'll do what we got to do. I'm cool with that. I'm with you, King. I'm just saying, I'm mad they're not doing that part.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
They don't show anything on their stage. They have their own Sony building that they show they stuff on. Same thing with Microsoft. It's not like they're renting space from the ESA to show and do the conference.
Right.
No, that is off site.
Yeah, on their data. Right, I feel you.
But now what you're saying is, now this is the part where I'm telling you they didn't earn a damn thing.
Okay.
Because when I go inside the convention hall and I'm going from hall A to hall B, I want to see your presence on the floor.
Right. I'm with you on that.
Show the respect to the people at our Patreon, your product. Show the respect to the developers that are actually supporting your product. Show the respect to anybody that cares to come out to make that fan week important. But they're not showing any respect to this community in any form of fashion. They're telling you we're gonna do some little Taco Bell craps throughout the year, and that's not working with me, Joe. I mean, I paid this money to go to E3. I want to see you show up. I want to see you represent. And if Nintendo is actually on the floor, which they have a huge presence, don't get it twisted. People keep saying, "Oh, Nintendo doesn't show no conference." Listen, boy. They are there.
They're on the floor.
We go in and we actually touch their products.
That's a fact.
So if Sony is not on the floor, if they have no presence, they're thumbing their nose to you. They're telling you basically you're gonna buy no matter what if we show up or not. So what part is this loyalty that you're giving to somebody that has an indifference to you? If you was dating a girl that didn't care if you came around or didn't care if you called or didn't care whatever you did, you will leave that girl alone. But you sitting here like some little fanboy stuffed up under her, talking about, "Oh no, boo boo, I love you." I don't care nothing about you.
Yo, King is stupid. Dudes out here getting brainwashed by the bangers. What about them game of the? What about they say? But she giving me them game of the year bangers. That's why I stay loyal.
Every 3 years, show up every 3 years like she do to you. Come every 3 years, go to her every 3 years like I do. My joint got dust on it in the back. So every 3 years when a banger comes out, I throw the banger on, I play it, I see her for a little bit, and she got to go right back to the bushes. That's not somebody that you sit there spend time with all the time because she's not giving nothing back to you. I like hugs and kisses, baby. So if you're not giving me hugs and kisses, I don't want to have nothing to do with you.
But Brap said with the $2 super chat, ESA needs Sony more than Sony needs the ESA. He said they don't need them. They on their own
brainwashed to death. When you go to E3 this year, shout out to the stellar group that we have going to E3 that's in the compound with us. Shout out to these individuals that are fantastic. Those names will be released if they want to be released later. But when you go to E3, I want you to tell me your statement after going to E3, after seeing everybody there, after seeing everything. I want you to tell me your true, honest opinions, because right now you're talking from a state of not knowing. But after you know, I want you to tell me how you felt going to a conference that's all about games, and that individual did not show up because they said that you purchasing anyway whenever we drop. We got you in pocket, and there's nothing you could do about it. And you're sitting there talking about, yeah, this is, you know what I'm saying? I'm down with that. When she called, I'm coming.
Yo, oh, come on. They simping? King, they simping.
Straight Superman in the face. I'm not messing with y'all. No, man. Listen, the only reason why I cop day one is because I can. Now, if it was a situation and I had to choose, if I only had the ducats for one situation, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm going with the boo that keep kissing me. I'm not worried about somebody that's gonna show up every 3 years with a God of War or something else. No, man, you don't come every 3 years and think I'm gonna support you 100%. That's not gonna happen like that. And this year, they gave you Concrete Genie and you had to eat that. And all the way through, you got nothing. I'm saying.
Oh, man.
Speaking of that, I actually have a good question about that. Okay, so we were talking about earlier how Sony normally will foster and support these new IPs when they come out. And I think that's largely true if they're successes.
Right.
But my question is, under the Jim Ryan leadership, what about these games that have been around, like they've been working for about 4 years now,
right?
And they don't do too hot.
Yeah.
So my question is, like, what's going to happen to Sony Bend?
Yeah, I don't know.
After mediocre performance.
Well, that's the thing, though. When you say it's mediocre, but it sold very well, so you'll get another. You'll get another Days Gone. You are going to get that. But when you look at like a Concrete Genie, right? Just the way that they marketed those games. Past Sony would have put those games, Concrete Genie, the medieval remaster, right? Those are their old particularly medieval. It's an old franchise. They would have brought to the forefront, and at least it came out around Halloween. There was nothing around that game.
I didn't even know it dropped.
Nothing. There you go. Old Sony wouldn't have done that, right? So it begs the question: will they have the same level of tolerance for mediocre performances?
Hold on.
Moving forward.
Rappers on King neck. He said $10 super chat. King, I purchase games, not trade shows. The reality is 90% of the consumer base knows nothing of these shows and still buy games, consoles, regardless of whether they show up. Woo!
I refute what you're saying. I don't believe 90% doesn't know about these trade shows. First of all, when you get there, you understand. You keep talking from a position of not knowing, but this year we're going to open your eyes. Now, you purchase games, and when you get into that game show, I'm going to put that camera on you, and I'm going to go live on you. And I'm going to tell you right now. Because he's talking from a position of not knowing. Don't let these dudes fool you. A lot of these dudes don't go because they can't go, and they're not in a position to go. But if they had the chance to go, they will break their legs to get there. So let's stop acting like this is the Super Bowl, baby.
People know about E3. I would say people know about E3. That. I would say, but listen. I want to jump back on that. I'm gonna get to you. I just want to say, the thing I'm gonna say in reference to it is this whole, we're gonna build upon our global event strategy of 2020 and participate in all these 100. I'm holding them to the fire on this. That's where I'm at.
They're going to give you 100 events of the Taco Bell crap. I'm telling you what they're doing.
I want to see fan events. That's all I'm saying. This has nothing to do with executives. This has to do with presence on the floor, showcasing your new wares to the fans that are loyal and give you this 106 million that you at. That's where I'm at.
That February event that they're having for the whole month long downtown in Manhattan, showing you old PlayStation 4 games.
We could go probably because we media, but the fans can't go. That's my issue.
Wait, I thought that was open to the fans.
No, that is an industry.
That's supposed to be the reveal event.
Yeah, the reveal is no. This is just
that. And I'm talking. Okay, they announced that they're doing some joint in New York City.
Yeah,
for a whole month, showing the PlayStation brand and you know it's supposed to be open to fans. They're not the joint in February that they're sending out the little secret messages. Everybody come check us out. I'm talking about the one that they announced that's in New York City.
They haven't officially announced anything.
Oh, okay. Well, exactly. They talked about it. I don't know if they're gonna be about it.
I just want to hold it. Yes, absolutely. I want to
play old PlayStation stuff.
I'm just happy if they do something. There's something to be said when you go to an E3 or you go to a PSX and you're there live. Even last, 20? If the finest is in the chat, salute to the finest. We was in one year where they had it in a movie theater or something for the fans. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a community event. Sony fans rocking. There's one year, you know what I'm saying? Me, BG, Hip Hop Gamer, all in the joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is something to be said for the fan. That's all I'm saying. They haven't done a fan event in a while. Everything has been press industry. That's all I'm saying. Oh, here come Brap again. Here we go. He said, Brett, $5 in chat. Let's wait to see when Sony does before we take them to town. I am disappointed Sony won't be at E3, but it won't stop me from buying their products. That's what he said, King.
I'm not telling you don't buy the products. I'm telling you support whatever you support. That's your pocket. I don't care about that. Yeah. I'm just telling you that they're indifferent to you as a person. They're looking at you in the eye and say, you're going to cop anyway. Right. Why? Because we released PlayStation 25 years ago. So you in pocket. And you feel that you have some weird loyalty to a situation that is not loyal to you. I'm telling you, give back. See, what if Microsoft would have took that same stance? This energy wouldn't be like this. If Microsoft decided, oh, we don't need to do any fan service, they had to scratch and claw because they got their face broken. So y'all sit there and tell me, oh, I don't like you supporting that a company needs to get punched in the mouth. No. When you punch somebody in the mouth, they wake up. It's a decision time right now. It's called fight or flight. Either you going to fight or you going to run. Right. So I want them to fight. I want them to get punched in their mouth. Right. I want them to go back in their back. See, now they got punched in their mouth last year. I guess they didn't get punched in the mouth hard enough. But Phil is down for the fight right now. And if you're not understanding that this man he's ready. He got his gun is cocked. He is ready. He already has those bangers. You already know Compulsion just told you. We got that banger. You just don't really understand what's going to happen right now, but Sony does. And when they do come out with their stuff, they better be ready for a fight because this ain't going to be this ain't that Don Matrick layup Patrick Ewing crap. Your man going for the LeBron James dunk on your neck, and he gonna look you dead in your face as he gonna win that game. I'm telling you right now, y'all don't know Microsoft right now. Y'all listening to old Microsoft. This is a whole new wave. It's a whole new game. Sony needs to come and play.
All right, so here's the thing. I'm with you. I feel where you're going. The response seems to be to you that the Sony base is not that not all of them are not upset. Some people say, look, E3 is dead. They don't care. Whatever.
Because they don't never go anyway. It's dead for them. It's alive for me.
Okay, fair enough. But my question is, for them, they say, well, again, we're still getting the bangers. So is it? Do you think it's a thing that they have to see a drop off in the quality of the software for them to finally accept this non-fan service stuff that you're talking about?
I don't think it is going to be a drop off in the quality at all. I think Sony will always deliver brand quality.
Okay.
Right. I'm not advocating for them to fall.
Right. I'm
advocating for them to stand tall and stand up for you. If you're waving a flag, my timeline is dead. I used to have Sony dudes all over me, all day. Y'all are crushed. You're underfoot. How do you feel like with me lording over you?
You're doing too much.
Lording over you. You really can't come at me. All you PlayStation dudes, all you heads. Remember, y'all used to be the trifecta, all the big dudes. Y'all was out here stomping the yard. Oh, be careful, because if you anger this dude, I've been crushing you dudes. I'm lording over you. So right now you have no ammo. All your games is going to PC. Remember that philosophy had changed. Dance Moves Ryan got you.
Dance Moves Ryan?
You're all upset now. So right now he's doing all these beautiful dance moves on you, and you can't even come at me. So this is I want competition. I thrive in competition. And right now competition is none. I reign on the top like the sun. Burn whoever come in my chamber of torture. I caught you. You should have brought your neighborhood to support you.
We got the rocket bars,
boy.
Follow the leader. Okay, let's go. Okay, and there we have it. King's feelings.
I honestly would be really worried. Like, okay, okay, so like this generation, I went out of my way to own every console.
Yeah.
But I could afford to do it. It's great. But like I'm sitting back and I'm thinking like for next gen, because I'm sitting here like looking at my Switch, my Xbox, and my PlayStation 4 Pro. And I'm sitting here looking at it and I'm like, for next gen, like I don't think Sony's got anything immediate that we don't know about.
We don't know that.
Come on,
I got to defend Sony. Look, we don't know. They could literally drop the PlayStation 5 reveal, some crazy banger exclusive that's only to them, and then Last of Us Goes to Tsushima, whatever, and it could be a Rizzy. It could be they be back in pocket.
But what I'm talking about right now, though, is like I'm just sitting here thinking about like what happened last time.
Right.
Where it was like, yeah, I started with the Xbox One. I started with that. And then like a couple years later, I got a PlayStation 4.
Right.
I'm sitting here thinking about, I'm like, but honestly, that was probably the best way to do it if I had not started with the PlayStation first in that case. Because they only have the exclusives and that's it.
Right.
And especially if the Series X is going to be more powerful.
Yeah, but we can't.
It just makes sense to get a Series X first.
Y'all do it too much.
Super chat real quick, because I got a rebuttal for this.
All right, shout out to the Reformed Toad with the $5 super chat. A lot of SmackDown talk on Sony's neck, while Xbox has no exclusives for at least a year. Ooh.
Okay, so they have no exclusive. What do you call Halo Infinite? It's exclusive to the Microsoft platform, right? I mean, my question to you is, you keep talking about all these no exclusives and none of these games, Gears and all this stuff. Okay, what happened with Forza drops? We already know what's coming up. We already know hamburger, fries, and shake is going to be there. We know hamburger, fries, and shake is there. So we got that in bag, right? You already know that Forza going to be there. You know Halo is going to be there. Then there's going to be another exclusive game. But the question, because you can play it on your regular Xbox. Do that. If that works for you, do that. Who did that for you, though? Who allowed that to happen? They told you, yo, you know what? When your pocket's ready, you can jump up with the big boys. But right now, stay there. Stay there. You be where you at. But if you want to play with the big boys, you can do that too.
Shout out to the gamer by choice. $5 super chat. King. Okay, King, when the album dropping, he want to know you spit the part.
Oh, actually, ILP joint is coming soon.
Y'all crazy, man. Look, we got to move on eventually. But this is a hot one. I'm with Slow and a couple of B-Money in the chat on this one. Like, I ain't ready to write them off yet, but I am disappointed with the decision not to show at E3. You know what I'm saying? At least just have their own show, even if it has nothing to do with ESA. Even if you do
PlayStation dudes to come at me, bro.
It's besides the competition, which we all love. Right? Me and you, King, we come from that, right? We come from that day like, yo, Microsoft drop. All right, what's Sony gonna do? They're cooking up in the lab. What they gonna do? It was an event at E3. You know what I'm saying? Those are the magic moments you miss. You know what I'm saying? As a fan of someone who's gone to E3 so many times as we have, you know, so you miss that aspect. But at least if they would have did like the Nintendo thing, you know, we still huddle in front of that TV during the Nintendo Direct. Y'all may laugh at me when I'm with Switch mess up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But we watch it. You know what I'm saying? And it's something to be said. You go on the floor, you touch the latest things from Nintendo, you touch even the Microsoft have their own separate building, you touch the latest stuff, you get excited for the future of what's to come, and you just want them to have something similar. And I just hope they do something during that week for their fans, so even if it's just the state of play, you know, say like, yo, here it is, yo, here's the price, Sony, $400, boom, and date. Right? That'll get people, stop snoring, nigga. That'll get people.
Yeah, listen, you know what it is?
Yeah.
Back to logo. Like, they showed us a logo. You dudes are so brainwashed. Like, they showed you a logo and you were just, oh my God, you know, listen, I can't believe they came out with a logo.
Shout out to B. He said he gonna see us at E3. He said I'm not gonna be in them long Nintendo lines though. You know, listen, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We've said what we felt, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. We gotta wrap, man. We're going long. But yeah,
it feels so good right now, boy. I want competition. So any of you Sony dudes, please go on Twitter and follow me, King David OTW. Please bring yourself over there so I can bash your skulls in, because I am so sick and tired of y'all with the brain. You know what? I'm gonna try to unbrainwash you. Now I'm bringing soap and water, and I'm gonna clean your mind.
I'm done with you. And on that note, let's get into this poll, man. We gotta get this poll. Let's get up out of here. New ILP poll with the rumors of Now, Horizon Zero Dawn coming to PC this year. Do you think this will eventually open the door up for Sony first-party exclusives to launch day and date on PC? The choices are A, this will never happen. Sony first-party exclusives may only release years after. B, yes, writing is on the wall. Sony wants profit like any other smart business. Or C, I don't care. It's all fun and games until it's my favorite PlayStation exclusive. Shout out to all the people in the chat. Shout out to the reform Tone ain't letting it go. He said, file super chat, King, I'm an Xbox fan, but they've disappointed me for more than Sony has, my bro.
So then what you do is you don't play on Microsoft, play on Sony. Do those bangers. I mean, you have freedom of choice. Who did that for you? You really have to understand. I don't care if Microsoft did anything for you or if Sony did anything for you. I game where I game, you game where you game. I have it all, but I keep telling you guys, I see them whenever they release those bangers. Every 3 years, I tune up to my PlayStation and I boot it up. Listen, no lie. When I booted up my PlayStation to play Portal Rock and Street Fighter, it was damn near 2 hours of downloading patches. So that's slow. They so petty right now. You so petty. You in your petty bag, right? Your petty bag right there. Shout out to Brad with the $5 super chat. Sony not being at E3. All good. I'll be there with ILP, Booms, Ains, Mods, and the Brad. Wow, you just outed everybody.
He just snitched. Shout out to Boom, the Brap 69. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. The fam gonna be in there, man. It's gonna be so much fun. Oh man, they not letting us go. They not letting us leave. Crazy Mate Gaming with the $5 super chat. Even if Xbox would have shown the Series X logo, it still would have been something new. We already knew it was gonna be the PS5.
Yeah, but you know what? They didn't show you just a logo. They showed you a little sizzle reel, and they showed you form factor. They gave you, that's called fan service. We're not gonna give you a logo and say thank you, good night. Thank you for showing up and wasting your damn time. They didn't waste your time. Actually, it was a welcome surprise. They didn't tell you to tune into a refrigerator service show and you sat there and you waited for hours and you was completely disappointed. No, you was at a game award show, you was watching, and then Phil Dominus Maximus Spencer took to the stage and he had that glint in his eye. You saw that glint in his eye. You knew what was going to happen. You said, oh my God, it's really happening. Your heart was fluttering. You was like, this is it. This is going down. And they actually went down and they actually did what they were supposed to do. But Sony did it to you and you was like, this is it. This is going down. It's like logo. All right.
Yo, the chat, Anthony Boyce said, a new car.
Shout out to the Vanna White unveiling of the new electric vehicle that you can purchase in 2021.
This is the pettiest I've seen ILP today. Y'all are ridiculous. Y'all gotta let us leave eventually because the playoffs going on. Look, shout out to Lady Naila Hadjas for CompulsionGames that came through. Absolute pleasure to see them in the building. We will have Compulsion back on as they get closer to release. They definitely got something cooking, y'all. So it's really cool to see one of Xbox Game Studios up in there, man. And yeah, that was tremendous. Obviously, Attic hopefully will be back. You know what I'm saying? He's not doing well, so please reach out to him. The man was throwing up. Trust me, he wanted to make it. This was the show. He loves Compulsion. There was no way he was missing this unless he was legit sick. So salute to our brother, the young wolf. Heal up, bro. We will get you back. You know what I'm saying? Be money. Yo, they not letting it go. He said them logos just put the casuals on notice. Yo, V's in his bag. Shout out to B Money. Shout out to Brad. Man, y'all know it's all jokes and games, man. Come on, y'all. But yeah, shout out to Anchorman for coming through. V2 LordCognito.net Anchorman. You know what I'm saying? Fresh off a couple of articles and cool and everything. And media will be attending certain events for us as well. So, Lord Anchorman, where can the find you? What you got going on, sir?
You guys can find me on Twitter, AnchormanV2, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch Social Security code if you DM me. Go talk about that later.
No doubt.
I'm around.
Yeah, heal up. Get that nostril fixed.
No,
my sinus is
I don't
the
know.
same
Like
way.
my mic has been super sensitive lately. Like I literally, like right now, I literally have it pointed away from.
He got it pointed away. Your mic was snitching on your sinuses, boy. Anyway, no doubt. You already know. And Lord Sovereign holding it down in the realm as usual. What can the fine people find you? What you got going on, sir?
Nothing. Going to work. You know how I do.
We keep you.
But shout out to
okay, no, I'm sorry. No, please.
Big shout out to Lady Naila for coming through. Like I said, I love those small studio acquisitions by Microsoft. To me, are gonna produce big things. So I'm play. We happy for you. We haven't played it. If you're not into the whole survival stuff, but at least for the story is fantastic. Play. We happy for you.
No doubt. Shout out to be man. Keep doing y'all things, fellas. See y'all soon. Anyone pulling up PAX East? Yes, almost the majority of Lords and LogNet will be at PAX East. So if you're pulling up B-Money, let us know, man. We would definitely be there. Shout you out. Also,
get some lobster.
Yeah, you already know. Lord King, they were awaiting. They could not wait to hear you. I got 6 DMs, 5 tweets, and they were like, "You must talk about The Last of Us. You must talk about King and HorizonZeroDawn. King, we must hear from King." Where can the 5 people find you? Salute.
This week I can't turn the beat around on your man Loki on Throne. Yo, it's moving out here. Thank you for everybody that actually watched the video or actually went to lognet.com .net to actually check out the statue. That's lordgaming.net. Listen, that's tremendous to me, to be honest with you. That came all the way from China. Even the artist who conceived this, mentally and actually gave birth to it physically, hit me up on YouTube, and I was so pleased that he was he loved the video. It's a shout out to Zion Art, who actually put out quality products you can purchase from them. They're a smaller company, like an indie dev. So the fact that they actually putting out total quality statues is amazing to me. You can also find me at CombatTalk with Team. I was going to do CombatTalk yesterday, but I was swamped with so much stuff that I had to get done. I have a couple of display units that you're going to see over here. You're going to see the situation change a lot. I had to take a bunch of these pictures because most of the stuff is going on eBay. I got over 300, 400 items that's going on eBay. So those stuff have to get up and have to get out of here because I'm no longer in the toy business, like toys, so they gotta go. They gotta get out of here. My kid don't play with toys anyway, so it doesn't matter. But you can find us at PAX. You can find us at PAX as media. You can find us going to E3. You can actually see us in these streets, and you can actually follow me on Twitter, King David OTW, and also it's the same thing on Xbox Live. Okay, so you jump in, hang out, talk. I'm not listen. I'm going to curse, and I'm going to have a good time. So it's not going to be like
Disclaimer.
This. Right? It's totally different. All right, but we definitely going to get on and make sure you have Game Pass. I'm not accepting new friends unless they have Game Pass.
Oh my God! Put the Game Pass in the chat. Are we Game Pass shaming?
Yeah, listen, if you don't have Game Pass, don't add me. Don't add me. Don't look for me. Don't try to find me, because if I want to play with you in the game, pause. You going to have the same level of entertainment that I do. Like my boy wanted to play Tekken, what we did, we just popped and played, right? So if you can't move the way I move, don't move with me. Don't look for me. Don't try to find me. All right, thank you.
Oh my God! Shout out
to Game Pass if you want to hang out with me.
Oh my God! So they can't rock with the King if they. Are you gonna be checking their accounts?
Don't jump in my chat. I'm gonna check you out when I say, yo, let's play Sniper Elite or something like that. And you be like, bye. I'm gonna delete you right there. If you can't play with me. If you can't play with me, I don't want to have you. I just want gamers. I want people I don't want you to come in the chat and just be there just to talk to me. I know. We're gonna play some games. I want to play games.
Salute to the Lord of Game Pass. I'm about to throw that in your intro at this point. The Lord of Game Pass himself, Lord King, letting you know the requirements to have enjoyment on Xbox Live with King. If you heard it here first, you already know. Oh yeah, King. B-Buddy said you on that Tekken? Oh, King.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If you want some of that smoke, I'm handing it out daily. So if you want some of that smoke, remember, add me, King David OTW. You too can get that smoke.
No Russian is on. You said if you don't buy the games, you don't check for him.
Hey, no Russian. You can get that smoke too. Get that Game Pass and I can beat you up too. Come through.
And there you had it. Again, salute to everybody around. We were out of control today. Fantastic show. Salute to LordsOfGaming.net. Loving what the good guys are doing. Just killing it. Josh Retton, Dizzy, the boys, Undead. You know what I'm saying? The crew, everybody. Mahmoud G. Everybody. Daniel May. I see y'all throwing up them Lognet shirts. It's lit right now. So, it's going to be big. We got some more surprises next week as we get closer to PAX. We'll have some more fun. Some big guests coming up. More big guests for y'all. We're working on big things. We're cooking up. But appreciate the support. We appreciate the love. Everybody enjoy your Sunday. We got playoffs. We got the Niners. We got that red and gold, that drip. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Go Titans if they can pull it off.
You get sent home like the Jets.
Hey, easy. Don't put that out there. Don't put that out.
Everybody snow.
Everybody enjoy your Sunday. We out.